Futures holding on to a slight gain here this morning as we get going after what ended up being a pretty negative start to the week. Trying to bounce back, both the S&P and the NASDAQ right now. Just waiting for, just hearing my ear here, we're just getting import-export data for the month of September. Both on the red side of things, export prices down 0.7%. Import prices month over month for September down 0.4%. So that's really it as far as economic data so far today, and throughout the morning at least. There is a 17-week bill auction coming up later this morning, but not necessarily a market mover. We get retail sales coming up tomorrow, jobless claims as well, so it could be a little more exciting. But yeah, there's the NASDAQ, big ugly move downside on that chip move yesterday. We'll talk on that coming up here in a second, but a little bit of a move down here to get things going this morning, but just barely holding on to green. As I mentioned, there's that ASML. That was ugly yesterday over in Europe. I just checked in Europe right now. It's kind of holding on to where it ended the day yesterday, but pretty ugly as far as the rest of the group is concerned. I mean, Nvidia immediately with a huge sell-off, and at the end of the day, they leaked their forecast. The way they worded it was there was some software glitch, of course, blame the software, that ended up posting it before they were expecting or wanted to post it on their website. So, yeah, not good for them.
They didn't question the accuracy of it. They just didn't like the fact that it came out.
It wasn't supposed to be out yet.
Yeah.
It's still.
So there was nary a chip stock on my watch list yesterday that was green. The only one that I saw was Marvell, and I don't know if it ended up closing that way. Lots to talk about. ASML obviously in focus, and I was doing some reading. It looks as if, you know, it's not really their AI business, AI demand that's really holding things back. It's other sectors of the microchips that's really not catching up with some others. Intel also in focus. Brendo, China possibly putting some restrictions on Intel, some of the exports there, citing security reasons. So we're going to see this tit-for-tat exchange between the Chinese and the Americans. Also, crypto back in focus as well as it knocks on the door 70,000.
Yeah, more bank earnings to talk about this morning as well. Really hasn't been, I mean, they've all been better than expected, but really hasn't been a terribly exciting trade. JP Morgan last week, probably the most exciting, going back to Thursday, Friday. This is ASML in Europe. So this is in Amsterdam. As I mentioned, kind of just chopping around, not really doing a heck of a lot. We'll see how things get going here today, but chip's going to be in focus after that huge move down yesterday. Obi is in for Neil today, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, Obi. How's it going? Good. How are you?
Not too bad.
Very good. Looking sharp there today. I like that little sweater.
Thank you.
What I saw was that material is that?
It's a cotton.
Cotton.
Yeah,
okay. Looks really nice. ASML obviously trading live here right now, 300,000 shares here in the U.S. market. Brendan just showed you the Amsterdam here, but there it is right there. So nice move. We'll see if it can hold that $700 level lower than where we were yesterday. So yeah, sending this sort of cohort to the downside. But as Sharif mentioned, we had pretty positive talk there about some of the AI chips and the AI demand. It was just other areas of a little bit of concern. Chips are in everything right now, you know. So even if cars are a little lower in the demand cycle, you know, chips are in cars. Chips are in all your Internet of Things, right? I mean, so there's lots going on, not just AI, but I still think Nvidia was probably falsely hit to the downside. And if this name ASML starts bouncing, we get a little bit better feels. And I think we could get a bounce in Nvidia. It's not on the sticky note though today for Nvidia. I may put it on. We're looking at Intel. I think Intel has
Intel was
an interesting catalyst today as China starts questioning some security issues and issues with the software and whatnot. So we'll be watching out for some Intel later on this afternoon, this morning as the show goes on. And then oil back in play as well. We had a decent move in many different markets yesterday, including the energy sector as well. So IWM was actually up yesterday.
Yeah, I heard. Small caps are on the run.
And then we had a great China trade yesterday with FXI. I know you and I have been talking about FXI for a while as well. So I saw you had a couple trades on it this week or last. And I've been adding it to the old note here yesterday. We had a dollar move on that yesterday. Short 32, close at the end of the day near 31. So so far so good, man. Yeah. Oh, WBA. That was a name that we didn't look at yesterday. Walgreens Boots Alliance actually had a decent move. Yesterday's earnings, JB Hunt had a good report, started moving off of that. United UAL has a good report out right now. UAL is up 70.
Yeah, that chart is. I mean, a lot of airlines are doing.
It's up 70% since August, I believe.
Yeah.
Let me see if that is right. Fabian, let me show this chart right here. UAL's bottom in August, $38. $64, $65 today for United Airlines. And they put out a report that they like as well. So, yeah, again, another beneficiary. I just thought about that when we thought about energy there for a minute. So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting day. I just spoke with my daughter. We're going to the Leaf game tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we have our date planned and we're ready to rock and roll. And that's going to get me through. I said, I'm going to trade faster to make the day go faster.
Yeah.
And then Marissa said, that's not how it works. So I might trade slower.
Nice. I think imagine if that were the case. The faster you trade, the faster the day goes by. But I don't know.
Days will just fly
Sometimes
by.
when the days are amazing and the trades are just setting up, like time just flies by, right? Before you know it, the bell rings. I've had a few days like that as well. But yeah, no, some crazy moves in the market. And yeah, ASML yesterday, I was like, okay, why is the market continuing to sell off without any bid in sight? And I kind of figured that ASML might be a little bit of a suspect for that kind of move. Again, we know that ASML is in the top, I guess, top 10 constituents of SMH for sure.
Yeah.
And a lot of these constituents in the tech sector and some of these ETFs sold off aggressively as well without any real bounce. So you can see that AMAT as well, very similar kind of action there, is continuing to sell off. Again, this was trading at 215 at the high of day yesterday, and then trading at 187. So again, a lot of these tickers are doing RVol, and another one, Texas Instruments. Sean, look at this one. Literally closes at the low a day here on TXN, and again, doing a little bit of relative volume in the pre-market as well. So I'm going to be watching some of these tickers to see if there's any sort of continuation. Of course, ASML is the one with the earnings news and with the aggressive sell-off that they did have. And again, I think it was almost 50% of what they were looking for. And with that leak as well. Again, AMD selling off Nvidia, we know what that thing did as well. So a lot of these tickers very, very similar, but I like AMAT and ASML with that kind of relative volume that they're doing in the pre-market. So I'll have a closer eye on that one. Now, of course, ASML, a little higher price, right? It's $700. $700.
Are you gonna look to trade that thing
The
today?
spread is going to be a little nasty. But we can watch it. I think if anything does show up, it might be a little distinct. But I like AMAT, a little more conservatively priced, 187. We'll see how the spread is on each one of those, and kind of go from there. That's what I'm kind of thinking about.
Like, I'm feeling kind of short-ish today.
Yeah.
So I think we'll have to look at some market short. Oh, Randy, I didn't see Randy yesterday after the haircut. He's got a haircut today. Okay, I like it. He'll be showing his face on here very, very shortly. I'm sure of it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling a little bearish today. I don't know. You have any early opinions here?
No, I don't really think so. Let's take a look at the.
Yeah. Want a coffee there, Obi?
I'm okay for now.
like a
I'm gonna
tea?
grab one in a few minutes. But
There's Randy. Randy's on the bell again.
there he is.
You know what? Let's get Randy on the bell. Randy, you want to ring the bell at not now, at 9:30 or what? Okay, there's Randy. He's gonna be our bell ringer. He can. Oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all right.
Going
Not
for a
too
home
loud.
run.
Not too loud. All right. So let's go. We're ready to go. Couple names there we talked about. We've got drug on our mind.
Oh boy.
DRUG moving around. We had some
Get some help.
You got drugs on my.
yeah, that would be very, very good there. I think that's awesome. And we'll do that. And then we've got some Donald J as well moving around. So actually Donald J has made the sticky note today. I think that it's something that we have to look at. And I'm just trying to figure out what else. So I'm trying to figure out some levels to short the NASDAQ if we get going there today. Sometimes the NASDAQ goes on these little runs, right?
Yep.
Yeah. down 1.6%, 1.34%, sorry, yesterday. I could see a little carry forward there today as the Nasdaq's battling for zeros right now. So, all right, we've been talking for way too long. Let's go back over to the desk.
Candidates, talk small business. We're just talking about provincial politics.
Yes.
Incredibly exciting. ASML we'll keep an eye on, but there was a note on NVAX I was just reading as well, worth noting. The FDA has placed a clinical hold, so not good, on Novavax combination COVID-19 and influenza vaccine. So big move down there after phase 3 trial looks like it didn't come in the way they were expecting. This thing bounces off $10
Oh my God.
on that flush, down 15% here this morning.
And they're not the only company trying to make this. I know Moderna has one of their own as well, and that uses the mRNA. I think this one uses viral vector, which is the older technology. I think, you know, personally, I've just had it with vaccines. I'm not sure exactly how the markets are feeling about this right now. But Brendo, it's nothing new, right? This is all stuff that we've dealt with before. So I'm not really sure what to make of this.
I mean, decent bounce already. It's up a better part of $1 there on the bounce. You know, small caps are back in season. I was just looking at the gappers list here this morning. There's 4 that are on my list here that are more than 100% higher. STEC is one of those, leading the way. My chart just froze, but trust me when I say. STEC is better part of 600%. Big move after the close yesterday. Versus Systems, another one, 260% right now. ATNF, 333% right now. So when you see what happened to a stock like Drug yesterday, it typically kicks off, you know, this kind of moves. I just ran through all of these in Benzinga and didn't really see anything as far as news.
And I don't have anything on this one either. STEC, and it moved right at 4 o'clock, Brendo, when we know the halt parameter for volatility shut off. So a little suspicious there. If I can show this chart, Fabian, right at 4 o'clock, this one moved from 25 pennies where it was trading almost up to $4.75. It whiffled and waffled in a bull flag kind of shape to 3 1/4 up until 8 o'clock. Sold off aggressively. This is going to be in view today, no question about it. Drug could be a mean reversion trade back. There was no news on that. We're still looking for news on DRUG, but that's fine because these small cap gappers are more technical trades than anything else.
Yeah, I was just looking at this ATNF, which is 180 Life Sciences. So 945,000 share free float. That's almost 15% short. So if you're looking for a squeeze type candidate today, this one might be top of the list.
We were just talking about, like, how do you put one of them on the top of the list, because this STEC is very similar there, and you guys both talked about this as well, like up 600%. ATNF, I mean, everyone in the chat is going crazy over all of these names. So everyone's waiting for that next drug stock, that next HKD, that next everything. And you want to be, or DJT, you just want to be able to hit something, right? And this might be something here, breaking through $3. That top, if we come, yeah, there you go. Thanks, Fabian. Right there, 320 or so, 330 has been the top. You're pretty much basing around VWAP, which we really like down here. It seems like this 255 could hold into open. We've already done 25 million shares on just a $3 name. So we're going to have to find out where this name winds up going, STEC. And then what was that, ATNF? Is that what it was? Right there. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, 180 Life Biosciences. So again, these biotech names, when they start going, we've seen some pretty dramatic moves take place. Obi was talking about trying to find where they get exhausted. Like we just talked, I just called this up, it was 7:02, and there it is, 7:30. So, I mean, continues to make some moves here right now. ATNF, very interesting about the share coverage and the shortable there and what the underlying, what the float is. This is the stuff that we're going to have to be watching out for. Like just now, ATNF, I mean, $3 straight up. I don't think we can even zoom out for this ATNF. Let me just see what it looks like on a weekly chart. I mean, I'm going to use the E-signal charts here just to get a better, just to get a better look. So obviously well depleted down there. 116 was the low, 52-week low. It did split there. Was that what it's saying? 1 for 19 split there as well. So this thing split back in March. We'll check out a weekly chart for ATNF. And yeah, obviously the split hits it again. 1 for 20 there. 1 for 19 there. So 2 splits in the last year and a bit. So where we come from really has nothing to do with it at this point. So split up. You know, these companies, once they develop something and they don't work, they need to find some cash, and then they need to be able to stay afloat to not delist. So that's why we get that splitting action happening there to keep it over $1. But there it goes right now. It'll be up through 7 and change. ATNF just continues to go here. I know you'll be looking at some of these. Randy, this is another name up 400% right now.
Oh boy.
Congratulations on buying it yesterday, Randy. So that's a nice little move. And it still looks like it wants to go right now. It'll be breaking through $8. I think I might just punch along through 8. Join the party on the upside here. ATNF. We'll probably have to pay for shorts, but I got to get on this, man. This is insane.
Wow. Yeah, it's absolutely wild. Thank you. Thanks for the coffee and the banana.
Makeup, I
Randy.
just realized on that.
Yeah, no, this is, we were talking about this one yesterday. Again, you have a ticker like drug, again, that's running. You're going to get a few of these residuals that do push. What's going on, Brenda?
SMR, guys, just taking out yesterday's high here on this. Amazon has joined the party. Amazon signing multiple agreements for innovative nuclear energy projects to address growing energy demand. So there's SMR, just took out the high from yesterday, up, it's 50, 60 cents right now.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I was just telling this guy, bang, right here, because I had just bought SMR last week. And I actually bought this in the swing account there, and we're long at 12 and change. So I lost on this, trading this that one day when it was really excited there. So first of all, I was looking at this breaking through $10. We had talked about this with Brian Shannon and with Michael Noss, and it was it's not relatively new. I think it's 4 or 5 years old, but an IPO that was starting to break out a little bit off some of those anchored VWAP levels. I can call up the trade ideas chart to get a little bit of a better look on this one. And I think it must have been, so this is a 20-minute chart, so it must have gone back. It was really up huge one day. Maybe it was right here. Yeah, I think it must have been. And then it fell back that whole day. No, it wasn't even that day. Anyways, once we had broke through 13 there, we had found a base in and around this 1280. That's why we must have been in here. Up that day, we thought it was going long back into here. Fell back, made this great base at the 50-period moving average. Looks better on a daily chart, but this bottom of 1150 was real nice. And now the thing about all this is they're going to need to get powered. We talked about AWS, Google with that, Azure, Microsoft going into that island there to bring back some of that nuclear power. And here's SMR. So again, a relatively small company here. If I'm going to call it up on the Benzinga platform, I'll just find out what that market cap is exactly. We just had Bright Minds up there. Here it is right now. The short float, first of all, 23% on new scale right now. So that's a big one. Average volume, 5 million shares here. I don't know exactly where the market cap is. There it is, only 1.29 billion. So, I mean, they can sign deals in the hundreds of millions just for the power itself and for the reactors. So let's wait to see what winds up happening right now with SMR. But this one may get on the sticky note as it's starting to go upside. I actually didn't realize that they had that kind of a short float. So here goes SMR right now, new scale, really starting to hum here. I like it for a longer term play. The breakout was through 10 right here on the daily. So that was a great little break right there. He made this garbage, nice move to the upside. Here goes SMR. CCJ, another way to play the space. You could play, with URA, uranium as well. But right here, nice, yeah, look at this. Nice move up here for Cameco. Right. So CCJ, another good stock
nice. Uranium.
To play in the space. So you in any energy plays these days?
No, nothing really there. But yeah, you can see that. I guess that news is really moving a lot of these, nuclear-related tickers there. You mentioned URA. That one's up as well in the pre-market here with a 31 high. Right now, watching the tape on SMR, did a bit of a test of 50. Now there's size on the ask, just sitting in the 70s. So it could be interesting. Again, large cap association news, right?
Yeah, that's why I liked it. It was associated with Google a little while ago. Yeah. But the thing is last time something like this happened, that's what I was saying. I got excited and I broke the long. So we broke 13 long and then it faded the rest of the day. So I'm wondering if that might be what happens here at 15. So watch out for that possible fake breakout there at $15 once we open up.
More than the other
Sure.
side, right? Dominion, of the three companies, it looks like that were named here as part of this Amazon deal, Dominion, which is D in New York. It's not a small stock, $60 stock, up nicely here on this news, 5% now. The other two, it looks like, might be private, but again, if you missed it, Amazon signing 3 separate agreements here for nuclear power development. So the early stages of addressing some of these energy needs.
Yeah, and looks like Mizzou was chiming in before we even got the Amazon news. Brendo upgrading Dominion Energy and boosting the price target from 56 to $60. We've been talking about this on this desk. Small modular reactors. We're using them in this province in the north. The beautiful thing about them is that you can go incrementally. You add one nuclear reactor and then you can expand multiple ones as your city, your project grows. It seems to be something that everybody is looking at from the AI world. So good luck. D is going to be on watch today. SMR on watch. We'll see what else we can conjure up here.
NNE seems to be another one that's moving around here. I don't see it actually in this article, but NNE just popping up in front of me, which is another nuclear power energy company. Dominion Energy, though, to explore the development of an SMR project near Dominion's existing North Anna nuclear power station. So again, Dominion is just D in New York, which, as you were saying, nice bounce back on a higher time frame there. Back above $60, guys, for this one.
I'm hearing a bunch of stuff in my ear right now. Amazon is signing up with a bunch of different players here. So I think that's why SMR is coming back down a little bit now, as that NEE, Dominion. I heard another name as well. We'll find out more about that. But yeah, not a name that we trade. But again, this has been a hot space. And I didn't even realize Dominion was in this because, again, not something that I'm familiar with. Breaking out higher right now. Wow. I mean, if this is what this space is, then yeah. I mean, we talk about what the next little level is here. Everyone was worried when Bitcoin miners were going crazy there and all the energy that was being taken up. But now all of a sudden we have here, so now I'm hearing in my ear that NNE was actually not mentioned. NNE was not mentioned apparently in that article right now. So we'll have to see if there is a pullback in that. But I was going to say some of the Bitcoin miners, Mara and whatnot, all the power required, to mine Bitcoin. That was a popular topic back in the day, and we saw some of these names starting to go on that news. So why not now? I mean, AI is obviously a thing, I think, Obi, and they need to get powered. So we're going to figure out there. But it's SMR pulling back out now, back in a little bit. It did touch 15, pulled back to 14 and change. I just wrote down on the sticky note, let's take a look here if we can pull back anywhere into this kind of level, 1420, 1415, something in and around there. So that's not a horrible spot if we can buy some SMR on dips. Remember, we got burned trying to take out the top last time here, but I think now this space is going to get hot for a minute as these large scale companies and mass scalers here like Google, so on and so forth, Amazon, continue to talk about nuclear power. So I like the space. I think you need to buy some uranium ETF, which is that URA.
Yeah, no, I think definitely going to be on watch these tickers today. I can see that right away. Okay, so Brendo was like, Dominion is one of the ones that's named in that Amazon list right there, and right away you can see that this thing's been on a bit of a recovery here, a bit of a break of trend off of this 44 hold right there. You see the downtrend that came in from late August. Strong sell-off there, which was a break of a much bigger trend from all the way from 2008, and then we're coming right back in, which looks like a bit of a V-shaped recovery here, pushing 60 in the pre-market now with that tailwind from that Amazon catalyst. Let's see how much further this thing can get in today. Already doing RVOL in the pre-market right here, about 130. I have right here on in terms of RVOL with the latest kind of volume being done on Dominion Energy. So yeah, going to be, I guess this one's on the list now with that fresh news coming in as well. Now, I heard you mentioning crypto, but before that, we're going to send it off to Adara.
Stupid. We're going to take a look here at some of these upgrades and downgrades. Cisco kicking off the upgrades list this month from Citigroup, up more than 1% right now. Also, more than 1% is UHS, Universal Health Services, getting upgraded by TD Cowen. Autodesk here with an upgrade from Wells Fargo, and Corteva being upgraded by BofA Securities. On the downgrade side, solar getting a bit of a hit here. Enphase getting downgraded by Susquehanna. Carrier actually getting a price target increase, but a downgrade from Stevens this morning. Estee Lauder on watch here, down about 1% with this HSBC Securities downgrade. It's worth noting we did have a move down in some of these beauty and fashion spaces, most notably TPR yesterday after LVMH over in Europe reported weaker than expected sales and guidance. So keep an eye on EL and a lot of the names in this space. And of course, last but not least, Yum getting a downgrade from TD Cowen. Mixed list here, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, ENPH maybe with Enphase could have been something there that I was going to consider. I mean, this has been another name. I don't know if you saw yesterday. I mean, this was a pretty brutal move down there from $100 into $91. So now today, of course, gets downgraded. So I think Enphase right now pretty nasty, and now breaking lower. So this looks like again, if this is a daily chart and you are at this flat bottom break again right now, trying to get through. What level is this right here? I mean, we're at it right now, $90. Wow. Okay, like a $90 break on Enphase, I think is something right now, especially because it's an even dollar level. There could be some support down here. We'll wait to see if there is anything on Enphase down there at $90. So yesterday we bounced off 91. A little bit of a higher move there today, backing off that 91. Still going to open up down. Yeah, so this is an interesting one there, $91. Possible good little break there on Enphase. So I like that one, but wow. Okay, I did not even realize, again, yesterday, this 10% move down on ENPH. So I'm going to continue here today with some of the solar names being in question. So Enphase had a nice little run back up, but yeah, another one that I guess should be on radar if you're looking short.
Yeah, I was looking at one of the upgrade tickers this morning there, Sean, Cisco. Cisco's looking nice. It's already passed. I was looking for that 55 in the pre-market when I was doing my scans on my way here, and already passed that 55 in terms of the high right now on Cisco. But when you take a look at a higher time frame here, I really do like where this thing's potentially headed. Now, this is just a 3-hour chart right here. You can see that prior high is right there, just shy of 56. And if you go on the daily, we're in a bit of an area here from prior. So it's like if we can get past the 66, bit of a gap as well, and then near all-time highs right at 58. And you can see its trajectory, a little bit of a trend happening here over the past couple of months or so. Gap up, hold of that 40, hold of that 50, and continuation to the upside. Now attempting to push towards some of these highs. Let's see if this upgrade can give us a little bit more oomph in this bigger picture uptrend on Cisco Systems.
All right, lots to understand here this morning. We were just talking about Amazon again. There was another portion of this note just came out saying the company is also leading a $500 million funding round for a company called X Energy. So X Energy, which I guess is private, and in the same area to develop further SMR technology. So Amazon downside on this overall, but basically right back to where it ended the day yesterday. But again, that was the last part of that just coming out. $500 million funding round for X Energy, going to be led by Amazon as well. All right, let's talk about the overall market here. Lots to know. I mean, big red day yesterday, but trying to hold here.
Yeah, we gave back 5,900, Brendo. We closed out at 58.83. We're still above that 58.75 area shelf that we had been kind of consolidating below for a little while there. 58.50 shelf. So we'll look to use 58.50 as support. If we break through that, we're looking obviously at 5,800. Not much in the way of support below that, and then we're looking at 5,900 as resistance again.
If you haven't done so, make sure you grab the absolutely free watch list. Head down to the description of this video right now. There's a link there. All you need is your email address, and then it shows up in your inbox every single day. It looks like that. Has everything that's moving in the pre-market, notable economic releases that are upcoming, and even if there's Fed speak, everything you need to know, just grab that. It's free. ASML, touched on it early on. If you're with us at 8:30, make sure you join us in the first half an hour every day. Ugly day yesterday. They mistakenly posted their forecast, or the slashing of their forecast on their website yesterday prematurely, blaming software. I saw at one point that posted that ahead of what it was supposed to be, down another 4+% here this morning for ASML. I mean, the bigger story, I think, is the fallout that followed in the rest of the group. Nvidia with a huge move, AMD with a huge move, Intel. I mean, the story goes on and on.
Yeah, 16% in one day is not a joke.
Nope.
Especially for a stock like this one. It's essentially a monopoly. Lost 16%, as I mentioned. Investors and analysts are questioning ASML's 2025 sales forecast with this new information that we got. We know that customers, including makers of like logic chips and memory chips, they're delaying the purchase of new equipment for their new plants. Not really sure why. Sounds as if maybe some of the other areas of the semiconductors and chips are not coming back as quickly as thought. The lower demand, Brendo, could lead to pricing concessions and margin squeezes for ASML. So that obviously will affect the balance sheet as well. And Chinese chip makers, they're not buying these anymore because of the export restrictions. That was another big market.
The caveat, I think, is what you mentioned early on the AI side of things, that this was more or less not related to the AI side of things, and demand on that front is still very, very strong. So what do we do here, guys? So this is Nvidia right now trying to take out pre-market highs.
Happy birthday to Tisha Perkins' son, 5 years today. So Tisha, shout out to that one right there. And yeah, get out of here. Stop trading and go celebrate that birthday. Okay, so you asked that question before. Just under 5% of SMH is ASML's holding percentage in that. And just looking at what that fallout meant yesterday, we had a great move up there in SMH, and we were really rocking. I mean, Nvidia was up 30% from its lows. AMD, the other way, going the other way. Neil talked about Intel being up from 22 to 23 yesterday. And that's true. I roll my eyes because it's such a low-valued stock, and sometimes we overemphasize sometimes $1, $2 moves, but the stats are there for that. Anyways, 260 right there. Nice move up for SMH, and then that brought it down. So that brought down the whole sector yesterday. And that's what's kind of got me feeling a little bearish today. I don't know if we've worked through this yet. I mean, ASML is down again here now today. So there's that sort of unexpected release of earnings there, and Brendan just went over it, so we can talk a little bit about price action, but it brought everything down. I mean, and we were caught long there in Nvidia. We were able to get out of it, and we ended the day fine. It's just, we had to let it settle down. We were able to catch a little bit of a bottom there in the market before making that move back upside, and then it was just barcoded basically the rest of the afternoon, and now that we open up there in Europe, we see that we are going to be down another 4% here today on ASML. So you had some thoughts on some levels there for that. Do we have anything else? Okay, so we don't have too much going here on our board for chips. So just quickly, Nvidia's going the other way today. So ASML did talk about AI chips still being strong, still having some strong demand there for some of these GPUs. So I think Nvidia shakes it off a little bit. You can see just like ASML, it was pretty barcoded there yesterday afternoon. There's the move down. That drop was 129. So if we're going to look for like sort of a pressure point, I guess 129, 130. We were able to hold through this 130 dip and did not stop ourselves out and take advantage of that move back up. But at the end of the day, it looks like it wants to break higher again here, Obi. So I would say this 133.50 area that we sort of had a bounce area as ASML was sort of ruining everyone's life yesterday. 133.50 looks like that could be a break long there on Nvidia. Or if you're a little bearish like I am today, I actually look for this 131 area right there for a potential spot where we could drop into, and then we'll look for a long. So long for Nvidia today. I don't want to short it. It's up 1%. Let's see what winds up happening. Intel's not on that board there. We do not have Intel on the board. Intel's on our watch list, and it had some negative Nancy stories with China. And again, it's on the watch list. Go make sure it is the #1 trade on the sticky note today to go short on Intel. So I like this stock. I said 23 could come into play. When we wrote this note, we were a little down here, and I said to Obi, it looks like Intel maybe even wants to creep a little higher right now. So I'm going to try to short this off of sort of yesterday's close, which is right in here, 22.50. Forget about the market and close and balance that brought this thing up to 22.70. But at the end of the day, I think that's a stop out point. So if you're going to short 22.50, I think in here 22.70 is where we can prove to be wrong, and then we'll wait for 23 to come back in. But again, China questioning some of the security here of Intel. some of the platform, the chips, the software, everything together, and they're investigating that. So when we talk about security and breaches, we don't like to be in those names. So right now, Intel for me is a short.
Yeah, no, I think Intel definitely looking for that short with that cybersecurity news. And going back to ASML here, yeah, some levels. Again, we had that impromptu earnings day one with that leak coming out somewhere around the middle of the day yesterday, and we saw aggressive selling. Looking for that, I guess, would it be a day 1.5, day 2 coming in today? But just looking at some of these prior levels, so we did break down of this prior support here in and around just below that 735 mark here. And then looking a little bit further left, this aggressive bid that did come in, bit of a base here just below where we're trading right now. I think the low right here, that specific low in and around there is sitting right at 687. So we'll be looking at those areas roughly 675 maybe as well, 675 and 735 as well on ASML on the day today. For that continuation moving, yeah, Intel as well. I do like that with a little bit of a hold. It's been holding this 2230 area for the past, I guess, couple of weeks there. Let's see if this news can kind of bring it in a little bit lower. We did get a strong flush in the pre-market off of that news, making a low at 2150. You can see that it is doing some strong relative volume. This is 9 times on a large cap ticker like Intel, so this is definitely significant relative volume. That's why, again, it's definitely number 1 on Sean's sticky note list, and it's definitely number 1 for a watch for me as well. Yeah, looking for that continuation, selling if it'll come in. We can see that mid to end of day consolidation high right here at that 23, and some of those prior day lows sitting at 22 halves. We're trading in and around there right now on Intel, so it should be interesting watch on the chips going forward today.
Bitcoin back to the upside once again. Do I hear 70,000? Just around the corner here, holding right now at 68.1 after a nice move back higher yesterday. The march continues here. That's a 15-minute chart, so past 2, 3, 4 days even. Back to the upside. Here's Coinbase right at that high from yesterday morning up, 3% here to kick things off today.
Look, Brendo, last 3 days saw $1 billion of net inflows into these Bitcoin spot ETFs, with Fidelity and BlackRock taking the cake with $760 million combined going into their ETFs. Monday saw the highest net inflows since June, just on that one day alone, $556 million. We've been obviously listening to what some of the candidates have been saying, the presidential candidates, whether it's Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, about what the regulatory framework would be for crypto, different perspectives. And last but not least here, apparently China's disappointing stimulus is seen as positive for crypto, because people were worried about money being funneled out of this speculative asset into the other one. So make of what you will with that.
I mean, they were also going to block it at one point, weren't they? So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't think they care about China too much. Clearly, the price continues to march higher. I was just reading something on ASML here. So the earnings, so this was a day early. It looks like, anyways. The actual leak of the earnings was just a day before scheduled. So the CEO talking right now on the earnings call just apologized for the early release of the company's earnings. So ASML, a little bit of a pop there, but earnings call ongoing right now.
Okay. So, all right. Well, we'll hear more about it. So that will be something to look at for sure as we watch out for Nvidia. Nvidia is going right now back up to the top there as we'll get it all figured out. Great call on Coinbase. I mean, Coinbase had that huge bottom area here that we had sort of talked about a couple times in and around that 160 basing out there. We were looking at that, and it's just like, okay, now we know that if crypto is going to have a positive correlation with Coinbase, we knew that from before, but that's a pretty strong one, from 160 up to 202 right now. And I guess the better feels for Bitcoin, the better feels for Coinbase. So yeah, breaking through, you're at the 200 period moving average. I would say once we can break above that, and we're kind of doing that right now and hold, then this probably is a buy back up to the highs again. Kathy Wood's been over this name. There's been a lot of traders that have been liking Coinbase. We saw Mara. We didn't call anything, but Mara was a great bottom there at 13, 14, 15. Now this is up to 17. I mean, there it is right here. Mara with a nice bottom as well, coming up now up 4% today. So if you're going to look out for Bitcoin, we'll always have it at the bottom here. I think there are some definite trades that you're going to look at. Even here, Mara 17. trying to hold 1680, something in and around there if you're able to get a dip down, which could happen, right? But I think at the end of the day, the dips have been bought up. I know you have a Bitcoin chart up there, Obi. It's been pretty resilient here, and it looks like it wants to get higher. We need to break through that, what, 68.5 or so? I know you have the chart up, so why don't we go over and have a quick look at Bitcoin?
Yeah, no, I like this look on Bitcoin. Now, I think last time I was here, pointed this specific bit of, I guess, a trend resistance that's been going on Bitcoin. And yeah, a little bit of a build up into this lower highs, lower lows, but yeah, aggressive bid up of every time it does dip down. Pretty much all year, we saw that strong run from the 40,000 all the way to 70 earlier this year. In February and March, and we've been making lower highs since there, Sean. So again, going to an even higher time frame, taking a look at the weekly, you can see that this thing is building up quite nicely in and around those prior highs as well. So nice little consolidation, flag, whatever you want to call it, but definitely a consolidation. So let's see if we can get past some of these prior highs. Again, the prior high right here on the week of the last week of July, I have at 70,000 clean. So let's see if we can get there. Only about a few thousand points away from that level. And yeah, with Bitcoin running, going to have eyes on tickers like Mara and Riot, and maybe some MSTR as well. We know that one did a bit of a split as of recent. Let's take a quick look at what MSTR has been up to. Again, we did have some aggressive selling over the past few days there, but overall, you can see on a higher frame, this thing has been trending up and pushed past some of its prior highs from May and July. So year high was in and around that 200 mark, and look at that 200 breakout, definitely a solid trade there with a push all the way up to 227s, pulling right back in to this ranging kind of this trend hold here as of right now. So yesterday we made a nice wick low at that 190. Let's see if we can sustain some of these levels with Bitcoin on the move once again past that 200 on MSTR.
Yeah, about that, Obi. This ATNF right now is up 1,000%. It's at $15.
Another one.
So it's the same one. It is another one. But I remember I said here, this is right when we went live, I'm like, I'm going to take the $8 break.
Yes.
Did not take the $8 break. Right now, this is starting to go absolutely insane. 180 Life Sciences Corp right here, starting to get back to the upside right now. Enter online gaming with blockchain technology right now. It's only down 70% on the year, but making it all back right now, baby. Short foot of over 14%, just a $15 million market cap. We've talked about this name a couple times, but there it goes, ATNF breaking out. There was another one. I just tried something, QNRX. It's not moving. This just got a bump from 50 cents all the way to 80 cents. I said, let's just try to see what's going on right now. So this is starting to go as well. But there goes QNRX. There goes ATNF. What about STEC right now? Where's that going? So that's coming back in. So for some reason, they have anointed ANTF. Is that the right? No, ATNF has been the chosen one there today, as it just hits the high of 15, almost $16, man, and pulling back into 14. Like, where this one will land, I never know. But I'm in this one here, QNRX right now, long 79 cents. I don't know anything about this name, but we are trying to join the party upside here on QNRX, OB. So let's wait to see. This is bouncing around like crazy right now. I don't know. This is a little silly to probably be in this one. But ANTF on everybody's mind, and it'll be on mine for a minute here today as well.
Yeah, a lot of these small cap runners, man. We got to see. We know what I'm looking for.
EJT we have.
I'm looking for that backside. Let's see if some of these tickers can give us that backside. Now, again, we're talking about this. Everyone's looking for the next drug. Drug pushed up pretty much 3,000% overnight, and definitely everybody has eyes on it. The biggest percent mover in the market yesterday, and we're getting that residual push on some of these small caps here. Everybody definitely looking for that next drug to hop on and I guess to experience, and maybe ATNF is where they'll find it. I'm going to keep eyes on this one today.
Just hearing a couple things. Just be aware, if anyone's watching the chip sector, ASML CEO is still talking. So just a heads up on that. Affirm, there was a note on Affirm as well. They're teaming up with GoodRx, so GDRX. So you're going to be able to pay over time, I guess, for prescriptions for through GDRX with Affirm. So another deal for Affirm there. Not really doing a heck of a lot on that, though. DJT, next on the list here, just took out pre-market highs. Big move downside end of the day yesterday. Not much on this, just ongoing volatility here, up 7%.
Another day for DJT, dropped to 10% yesterday. There was a down halt as well. Bouncing up nicely today, 7.69%. Funware, PHUN, was also in focus yesterday. This is a company that did mobile advertising software, and they managed Trump's 2020 campaign. They were up big, about 38%. I was trading them yesterday on the show. The stock decline, we're not really sure what happened, but Donald Trump was at the Economic Club of Chicago with that Bloomberg editor-in-chief guy, and there was some tension there. So not sure if that was a reaction to that.
It's going to be one of those days, I feel, where anything and everything could pop and start running. Here's Nokia. Yeah, it's a one-time meme stock as well. Just popping above 450. There was a note about so the company in talks with India's Bharti Airtel for a multi-billion-dollar 5G contract. So for NOK, not a huge move, but just popped up there as well.
ATNF is at $17. Okay, so it's on here, man. It's on the sticky note today, so we'll say awesome to that. It was on the sticky note yesterday as well. DJT is back right here, $25 long. I felt like there's nice support there. I said if it dips into it, probably worth a shot. I'm not sure that's going to happen. We're going to target 32 in a fade, but I don't, and we put this little crosshair there like a snipe. I know that's something that Obi likes to use that word, sniping. But yeah, so if we come back in here into 25, again, it's just because yesterday that's where we kind of dropped off into. We might not expected that yesterday, but that is what happened. So $26 could be an area as well, looking at that 25 to come into play. 25 also a level that comes in down here as well. So not only did we wick to that bottom yesterday, but it was just 2 days ago where we were breaking through that $24 marker. Then we held that as a base. And now I just think that with the 200 period right here, we actually wrote that down as well. The 200 period right here on the 20-minute chart is here at 25 bucks. So let's wait to see if there's some support there. And then I just said, if you get to $32, congratulations, huge trade, obviously, from here. I think you would take $4, so I guess now it's $3. But that would be a great area to think about fading it. And it's just, there's volume up there yesterday. It couldn't break through 34. If you're going to take roughly a, $2 worth of shot there on that, as I was watching this QNRX, it's starting to fall back in a little bit here. We're long at 75 and change, but rounds up to 76. I think $34 is a danger spot there. You don't want to hold it through that, that's for sure. But for me, if you take the long, I think you want to get something out around 32 and then maybe look for that infamous back end trade as we start to come back through on DJT. So that's going to be a trade there. Congratulations there. Various sought in the chat said he faded that from 33 yesterday. I think that was a great call. If we're able to do that again today, I think that's a play that we want to look at. 4 million shares almost here for DJT.
Yeah, I was looking at some traders and their posts on Twitter yesterday. Some decent plays there. A nice little shorts accumulation in the 33s, and then finally that news kind of hitting and really breaking down through the low day with that aggressive selling. You can see that expanding volume coming in when that selling kind of started. And here I have marked with an anchored VWAP with when that day low broke and that volume kind of started coming in. We hold that as resistance going into the close, and now we're holding that as support, trading a little bit higher coming into the day today. So I'm going to be watching here that same kind of reference price. Yesterday's prior day, or that low that we broke down just shy of that $31 mark right there. That low is sitting in and around 30.65. Let's see if we can get up there, only about a couple points away there. That aggressive selling right there, the strongest volume bar I have here, Sean, for DJT from yesterday is right here at that 27 mark with a high of 27.79, and we are trading above that. That's where we kind of held in on this pre-market consolidation, and we're stair-stepping up on DJT. So yeah, let's see, maybe we are poised for a little bit of a push into the 30s. I'm going to be looking for that continuation if it'll have me, but taking a look at the higher time frame, this thing has been trending up with expanding volume, and that range, that the range of this trend has also been expanding a little bit as well. So interesting stuff nonetheless, but that expanding volume I really do like here on DJT.
Yep.
All right, Morgan Stanley just took out the highs here. A bit of a pullback, but nice look to start things off. Another bank, another earnings report that beats expectations, 3.6% here. I was just having a look to see if there's any comments of late, but don't see any. But earnings, yeah, topping estimates. I'll check on the earnings call here for MS.
This was a solid report, Brendo, exceeding analyst expectations on both the top and bottom line. Here's how they did. The street was looking for $1.58 EPS. They printed $1.88. Revenue, the street was looking for 14.4. They printed 15.38, beat all around. This is really as a result of the wealth management and the increased fees that come with that. Investment banking did a lot better this year, and so did trading. The firm's trading performance is on par with some of their Wall Street rivals. That was not the case last year.
Yeah, it was 8:30 that the call started, at least. So just a heads up if anyone's watching this. Again, they haven't been terribly exciting, especially when something's up 1,000% in the pre-market. But nice look for the banks again.
Yeah, I mean, we actually, we had a great idea with Morgan Stanley a while ago, and that was when we started to break above this area here at 106. And we had sort of said to get excited about it, because if banks were going to be good, this has outperformed every other, I mean, JP Morgan aside, but even not aside, I mean, this is actually better than JP Morgan as it continues to break out through highs again, up 3.5%. The average bank return day after has been about, I think it was like 2.3% or something like that. It's been a really strong bank season, and Morgan just kicks it off. Well, doesn't kick it off, but kicks off their quarter there with a banger, up 4%. So Morgan Stanley just continues to make moves. I mean, in the light deal space, I'm surprised at this kind of a move. I mean, you don't get the, I would think it's well extended now, but do you really want to fade? There's actually now one sector that's better than the chip sector this year. It's financials. XLF continues to make moves now, and that's taking out highs. But this bottom there of $96, wow, what a 200 period hold for Morgan, right? It holds right there in August on some wealth management news there. And then just, I guess, on a fade out, we saw JP Morgan and all that get back down to the downside as well. But there goes Morgan Stanley. Huge quarter, great name. We actually targeted this a couple weeks ago. I'm not in the name, but I liked it. I own JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and then Canadian banks. But other than that, Morgan continues to be a huge success. Wells Fargo also trading quite nicely. So I think if you're long the banks, you stay long the banks. It's just been working out. And I'm well over invested in all the tech names. So it's nice to have some sort of love here in financial, but I am definitely underweighted in this space considering the move it's had.
Yeah, no, Morgan Stanley, again, something interesting to me, yesterday in the pre-market, we were doing relative volume and that aggressive selling that comes in right off of the open. Now, again, it is bank earnings season. We saw what some of the banks that reported yesterday did off of the open there. No real continuation moves, a lot of selling happening across the board, not just in banks, but across the market as well. You can see that Morgan Stanley pretty much printed high of day off of the opening range and printed low day going into the close. Now coming into today, doing, what is this, on a 3-minute chart, I have a 5-period R-vol right there, doing above 30 to 40 times relative volume here. But the more interesting part here is we are trading above yesterday's day high after we had that strong sell-off and that strong volume day as well. So Morgan Stanley going into today, I'll be looking for that 116 to hold going off into the open there. Some of these pre-market lows as well. You have just above 115 and 114 as well. So it seems like almost every dollar level, there seems to be a bit of something there on Morgan Stanley. Let's see if we get that continuation off of the open, or do we pull back into some of yesterday's consolidation highs here, just shy of 114. So I'll be watching Morgan Stanley for sure today. Again, earnings day one plays, I really like those.
All right, I put drug on the board there, but I mean, we can talk about any of these crazy wild movers. This one kicked it off yesterday. Huge move if you were, for some reason, away from the market. Yesterday gets all the way to 60. in the aftermarket yesterday. Just an absolute monstrous move. Coming back to earth a little bit here, but again, 1, 2, 3, 4, pushing almost 5 now. Additional small cap runners today above that 100% mark right now.
Yeah, and for the traders who don't often deal with these small cap gappers, guys, these are intraday trades. You know, I always like to caution: do not fall in love with the company. Do not fall in love with the company's story. It may be around today. It may not be around tomorrow. Brenda was telling me off camera about monster losses yesterday on those trying to short drug. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Trade them carefully, but they often set up quite well. So let's see how they do today.
Long list to have a look at or keep an eye on, guys. I mean, ATNF definitely the one to watch right now.
Yeah, I'm in this QNRX, this Quionon Pharmaceuticals here. I'm just trying to, I mean, it just went back into flat position there on VWAP. So, all right, go over to Brendan, okay.
Just real quick, guys, just got this from Firefly, our friends over at Firefly. Teaming up with, guess who? Bright Minds Biosciences to analyze the data from its positive phase 1 study using its artificial intelligence FDA-cleared BNA technology. So AIFF is Firefly Neurosciences, and we all know who Bright Minds is. So shout out to AIFF.
Yeah, good little hit there. So here's drug. I mean, that's a stock that is Brightmind here. So we'll have to figure out now what's going on with this one. Now down 22% here on the day. Huge blowout there into yesterday. I know Obi's going to talk about it. ATNF is, oops, ANTF. No, ATNF. Why didn't it load up? Okay, there it is. All right, so we touched a high there of 1850 on this name. It looks like we got blown out right there. Someone got stopped out, obviously, up to 19, my bad there on that move. We talked about it going through 17. That's exactly what happened. Now you're getting a little bit of a pullback. Remember, these names will pull back. This is a $15 million company, not after today, as it continues to climb higher and higher right now. So as Sharif said, just want to watch out for momentum, watch to see what winds up happening here on ATNF as they're all trying to pull back just a little bit. The NASDAQ's kind of doing nothing. We could check out the imbalance locator. I'm going to get out of this QRXR name here, QNRX. If we get out of that $60, 60 cent level breaks, we're out of that. Apple falling back in on that I don't know what you said there. AIFF. Okay, here's another one going. Oh, Firefly. Yeah. So here's Firefly right now. So good call on that one. There's the bump. Wow, nice move up to 650 right here. I mean, the closing bell was brought to you by Firefly for a whole month. And there it goes right there. Nicely done up to 650 again right there for Firefly. So that name starting to go as well. Wow. Okay. We definitely like that. That's really good to hear. I'm out of this one if we break through 60 again. I was just testing this to see what was going on. We won't lose that much here, but we will lose, it looks like, as QNRX not holding the bid either with only 2.5 minutes left. So any thoughts on any of these here, Obi, as we get ready to go?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have, I already got my kind of like a basket watch going in terms of all of these small cap runners here. Going to be watching them. Let's see if we can catch any sort of moves. Yes, today off of yesterday's move, and yeah, craziness ensued yesterday when it kind of pushed up, started halting up, and you can see multiple kind of a stair-step rise. You look at this failure to follow through. First halt down, holds this $11 level so cleanly, it can't go down. It starts going sideways, and then there's only one direction left to go. A bit of a squeeze all the way up, and then once again, stair steps on top of the 22. In the after hours, stair steps on top of the 36. And right here, that last little shelf, 44 area, seems like that was the one that couldn't really go just yet. Going into the closing session there, 8 p.m. And coming into today, we're trading still above some of those prior days levels. So I'm going to be watching some of these prior days levels to see if there's continued failure to follow through. Already in the pre-market, we were not able to get below that 24 mark. So I like that look right there. Currently holding this 28 with a high of 34, a bit of a double top there as well. So it's going to be interesting. I think Sharif's right. Definitely don't want to get married to some of these tickers. But again, I think everybody is looking for the swing short on this, maybe looking for the long to get these crazy moves, but going to be watching some of these other ones that are running off of this on sympathy. Again, short floats and high short floats and maybe low float tickers as well. Going to be on watch today and maybe for the coming days as well.
AIFF just took out $7 and came right back up there. So that now it's back down, but there it is, 750 there for Firefly, going insane right now. Check out AIFF there on the deal with Bright Minds. Okay, there we go. Nvidia also El Fuego right now, as that's really heating up. That just took out 134. We said Nvidia was on the bounce back today. It looks like that is exactly what it's doing. We'll hit the countdown right now. We asked for him and we got him. It's Randy right now on the bell, looking Randy, Fandy, Dandy today. 3, 2, and 1. Thank you, Randy, right there. Love, love, love the haircut there. I may have to go see Halim myself. All right, Nvidia pulling back down a little bit right now into 133 and change for this name as we go. We still watch out for QNRX. That's not really moving around. We can check out quickly ANTF. Wrong one. ATNF. Oh, God. All right. 1250. So ATNF now also pulling back a little bit into that $12 mark. Let's find out what DJT is doing. As look at the market. We said we were feeling bearish today, OB, and there it goes. A little bit of a bearish move to the downside as DJT right here holding 29 right now. So we'll see what happens here as Nvidia trying to find its base.
Yeah, I got DJT on watch, watching Morgan Stanley as well, still holding that $17 mark on Morgan Stanley and Intel as well. Intel, one of the, again, top names on my list for sure. Let's see if we get that bit of continuation on that cybersecurity kind of issues that they're having with or in China on Intel. We can see that aggressive sell in the pre-market came in all the way from, what is it, 2270s. We're trading at 2230s right now. I see that you are in an Nvidia position.
Yeah, no comment for now. No, we're in it. We're long here, and it's a good one so far. We're long. Wow, it was a good one. We were just at 30 cents in the money, and then not very, very quickly here. Yeah, so I still want to use this 200 period, which is 132.50, but we are in shares again early, but we've learned our lesson from this over the last couple of days, man. We do not need to be layered into this as we wait to see what happens with Nvidia. I mean, look what happened yesterday. Forget about the ASML news. I mean, it has its moves, pulled back pretty decently into the pre-market bids. So we'll have to wait to see if there is a bid coming here on Nvidia. My best trades always seem to be made like well after the market opens. So we're still going to wait for this one. We are in it now, but again, it's kind of a starter position. We didn't even have it written down on our sticky note. Watch out for 132.50 for a spot that will probably double up this position.
Yeah, this Intel continuing to push a little bit lower. They're trading closer, I guess, 22 teens now, coming into that whole dollar level. No real size I'm seeing just yet on top of that 22. Only about, was it like 2,000 lots sitting on top of that 22 mark. About 10 pennies away from that already. So let's see if we can crack through that whole dollar. Pre-market low, Sean, is sitting at 21.51. So if this trend is to continue, I'm going to be looking for that low to get taken out potentially here. ATNF with a bit of a push back towards the upside there. So let's take a quick look at that basket that I did kind of pull up there earlier today, full of all of these stickers that are going. Bright Mind still trading sideways. VS still trading sideways.
No, drug is halted, I thought.
Drug is halted?
That's what I heard. Yeah, it's halted. So drug right now halted on a circuit breaker to the downside. So that's actually, if you come over to my screen here, you'll be able to see the halted trade right there on drug. And also AIFF, of course, we talked about Firefly. That is also halted right now. I got out of that QNRX. It was a disaster. It breaks 60. But we are in the name that we trade right now, Nvidia. Nvidia, we just took some out right there at 50. Let's see if it goes higher there. ASML speaking right now. They're starting to go higher there. But then there's the pullback. So they started to go, man. They had their conference call, their conference call there happening right now. So talking about demand and whatnot in the space. So watch out for some of these plays to come in on the day. So ANTF, nope, ATNF. ATNF. Let's have a quick look at that one right now. I'm going to have to get that right at some point. Bouncing off of the 50 period. Wow. So does the 50 period actually work on these runners as well? Shout out to everybody who knows about that one. But right now, we've got this trade going on right now. We stay in our spot and trade what we know best. And right now, big cap tech, and there goes Nvidia flying right now, Obi. We bought some there at 133 as it came right into that 50 period moving average. And I actually like a break here, I think, of even some more shares up at 134 if we get going now. But again, you have to be careful with the fact that we do have the CEO right now speaking on the ASML conference call. So that's going to be a little bit of a pause for concern. But look at that. Yeah, buddy, let's go. That's a nice little trade there to start the day for us on Nvidia. We'll wait to see AIFF and then drug and ATNF halting around as well right now. So we'll have to watch out for that. But there goes Nvidia. Let's go. Let's see if we can take out 134. Other names on watch, Intel, and then are you in anything? Oh, you're in Intel. So why don't you talk about?
Yeah, Intel's still holding that 22, above that 22 mark. Hasn't really gone too far there. I do like this Morgan Stanley right there. The drive off of the open was aggressive, got to 118.60s, and then a strong flush into the bid. So let's see if we can get to the, I guess, opening price here is 116.88. We're trading at 117 halves as of right now. The market is coming in real hot to the downside here, Sean. 20,300 about to test here on the NASDAQ right there. So let's see, let's take a quick look at some of these large caps and see what is going on here. 231 on Apple. Oh boy, that short continuation from yesterday coming in real hot. Softy to the downside as well. Alphabet 164.60s as of right now. Nvidia holding up quite well above prior day's consolidation highs at that 132 half area as of right now. So Nvidia holding up quite nicely. Spider still kind of trading sideways just underneath that 580 mark. Let's take a quick look at some of these China ETFs as well. We know we were watching FXI. FXI still trading at 31.50, so it hasn't really gone to that prior day kind of consolidation high 32 area. Still trading sideways, so maybe come back to that one a little bit later. There, DJT trading at 28, so nothing too crazy as of right now. ATNF actually holding its levels as of right now, Sean. So let's see when that Bright Minds opens up in terms of a halt, and maybe we can take a look at that one as well. So let us know in the chat what you guys are trading today off of this open. Nothing too crazy, but it seems like the market is straight quadunk to the downside right now.
Man, like I wrote down on the sticky note, bearish. We talked about being, remember we talked about the show. I said, I'm starting to feel bearish there right now. And yet we don't really have too many shorts. We do have the Intel short. I'm with Obi on this one. I don't have that price. I have 18, so I'm just short right now. You can try to get that with me if you'd like it to get that right there. We do take Google. Google falls into 164. This is a level that I thought I liked. But here it comes in right again. Damn, Sean, next time you call shorts, go short, man, guy. And there it comes right now into 164 Google. So, yeah, we'll hold out to 163. Bad wick there. It's going to be hard to look at this chart, okay? We'll just try to look here on this one. This is why we liked 164. I sort of thought that there could have been some kind of resistance down there, support, at this level, but it's 163.50 is where we really want to try to go here on Google. So if it gets back into that level, that would be something that we will look at there for GOOGLE. Google, but of course it's just Google. All right, Nvidia, another out there as it went back up to the upside. We take another 50 there. We are long at O's basically. Sorry, we're long at 20s on this name. It's Google's that's down to 164, and there it goes right now. Let's ring a little bit of a register now on Intel. Just took a little bit out there at 12s or 13s. We'll see if we can get a lower bid as well. But right now, three positions, two longs. Google off 164, which we'll try and see if we get a little bit of a bounce back in the market. And then Nvidia looking right now like it was a decent play. Also thinking about breaking 134. I will get some out up here at 80 and then punch more long if we do break through 134. So damn, Daniel, says Juan Velasco. AIFF quickly here. There's so much happening. AIFF, I don't know if it must have halted again. This name is going to halt all the time here today. I have a feeling on that. And then drug was another one that a lot of you guys are yelling about here in the chat, down to 27. And then DJT, just real quick, 28 and change. All right, we're really starting to rock now. Google 10 cents, Intel a dime piece, Nvidia 50 cents. What's up, Adara?
Just beware of Boeing here. This one getting a nice volume pop to the upside off the open as opposed to some of those downside moves we're seeing in a lot of the market. We do have apparently the U.S. Chamber of Commerce calling for an end to the Boeing strike, saying that the work stoppage is causing, quote, jeopardizing thousands of jobs at Boeing suppliers across 40 states. So Chamber of Commerce looking for this BA strike to end. Keep Boeing on watch, you guys. Slightly positive on the day.
Oh, boy. We've got, yeah, I saw that news about the Boeing strike, but right now, man, oh man, DJT down to 28, but man, are we cruising right here, Obi? Props it up to you as well. Props up to everybody that's out there today right now. We have Intel as the #1 trade here on the sticky note today. So the fact that we're cashing out on this one means a lot. So there it goes right now. It's Intel. We're 3 for 3 and we're having a day again. So we've got Google long at 18s. That's 25 cents in the money. We'll take a piece out right there at 40. We've got Intel short right now at 20s. We just got filled at 07s. We'll see if that can get that lower. We also are out of 60% of our Nvidia. We just got that 80 fill up there. And we said we were going to empty some out of this because we already have our plan of action moving forward on this play, right? Breaking through 24 or 134 will give us more shares. So why not just take that right now if we can get out and just keep on topping that, and then we'll feel out some of these bottom plays as well. All right, as we break lower there, I just got some 05s on Intel.
Yeah, that Intel 22 mark is coming in as of right now. Okay, so it got stopped out a couple times here on Morgan Stanley. They're trying to get short off of that I guess opening range high wick, but it seems like we're poised to go a little bit higher past this 118. So that strength definitely coming in. VWAP getting bought up. So gonna stay away from this one now as that 119 comes in, because every little flush that we did get that was aggressive got bought right back up, and we're getting pushed even higher into this 119 level. So maybe you gotta, I guess, pack my patience on that one, get a little bit, I guess, accustomed to what the price action is going to do. Here comes the 119. Maybe you just got to wait and be patient for that one to take a reversion on that. That strong sell off of the open gets bought right back up, and we're pushing for some fresh day highs here on Morgan Stanley. Nice little continuation off of a strong earnings report there as well on Morgan Stanley. The 22s holding here on Intel, coming back into 2220s. Nothing too crazy. Look at that bottom wick happening here on the futures as they get bought right back up. So my question is, who's getting bought up the strongest? I guess it's Softy. I guess Softy and Alphabet. Amazon as well. Oh boy, Amazon getting pushed up 186. Oh, yeah. 13 is the low. Let's take a quick look at what those I guess nuclear related tickers are doing as well here today. Dominion D is trading at 58, long. So I guess not really continuing on that move. LAC was another one we were watching in the pre-market there. LAC was doing some volume, some news in the pre-market, getting a nice little pullback. Strong reversion back down of what that price action was in the pre-market, trading back below that $3 mark right now. Oh boy. There goes Morgan Stanley, Sean. 119.5, so continuing to the upside. The short is definitely not in. 120 incoming on Morgan Stanley. That is super, super strong with these banks. I'm curious to know what some of these other banks are doing as well. We know that they had a lot of earnings yesterday. Was it Schwab as well? Schwab is running, oh boy, yeah.
IBKR was yesterday.
IBKR was yesterday as well. Schwab is running aggressively as well, breaking through some prior day highs there. Pre-market high at 74.60 here on Schwab. Incoming as, again, Morgan Stanley is leading the way, I guess it seems today, with that strong opening drive on the banks.
Okay, so thank you for the comments in the chat, man. That Google call right here, we did have it obviously on our stick. You know, we just got into Nvidia on that top break, and it didn't do anything. So we did add to our position, but we'll have to let that settle down. There's Google right now, 164 long, strong long, expecting support off the 200 period, right? We sort of mentioned that there, and that's exactly what came through. I mean, we highlighted the 200 period for you guys down there, and there's Google, 164, basically the bottom, well, not the bottom, but close enough. 164 17s or so. What do I have on the board? 164 18s. So nice move. We just taken out at 85 as it continues to go. And then, okay, when you're confident, Obi.
Yes, sir.
You put it back in the clip, and right there it is again on that. Look at Intel. This is your #1 trade. I could keep showing this sticky note. It doesn't. I mean, Nvidia's going down. I'm gonna have to address this in a minute, but there's Intel right there, short off the sticky note. #1 trade idea. 22.50. We're short at 22.25s. Sorry, 22.20s there on that reload back down, and you've got the 25 level now. Now you're short even more as we break below. I like that call, Obi. Nice aggressive play on that one. Let's wait to see what happens with Google. but it's right now it's Nvidia. Are we doing something with ASML here or what? Let me have a quick look at that. 132.50 is where we wanted to buy this name anyways. So 132.55, we said we double our position if it comes down into this area. And guess what? Put up or shut up time, my guy, right now, because there's the fill on Nvidia. Now we say, okay, well, it might be shut up time because if this breaks through 132, then we want to get out of this one. We've gotten stopped out on Nvidia on these plays before and then been able to make it all back. But this kind of sucks as we are starting to go to the downside right now on NVDA. So watch out now. Intel really tanking, but so is Nvidia. Damn, Sean, when the market was up 0.15, you liked the short. Why are you not short? You're stuck long here. There goes Nvidia breaking 132. Watch out below. What's up, Adara?
We do have another stock pushing lower here. It's LLY, Eli Lilly, down about 1.5% right now. Not seeing any news on this, but worth noting, pretty consistent volume to the downside off the open. I'll let you guys know if I find anything here. Now, in terms of ASML, it's worth noting we had some comments coming out for the conference as this one loses that $700 support level, currently trading near 690s. The CEO apparently expecting slowness in the chip market to continue, quote, well into 2025. So not great guidance there. Also interesting note on AI. CEO saying that the chip market would be, quote, sad without AI or the demand for AI. So interesting notes coming out of that ASML conference. I will keep you guys posted if I hear anything else.
All right. Yeah, he's probably right about that. All right. So I'm going to get out of this, not probably bad, but this bad trade on Nvidia. I just taking a little bit out right now there in the 20s. We took another piece out there in the 40s. We're just like absorbing that. I can't believe the market's tanking right now. As we had talked about some of these levels that we liked here earlier. We said 74 and change for the TQs. Looking for a pop early and then fade it late. Damn, that's we didn't really get a pop, but there it goes to the downside, goes Nvidia. Good thing we took out a little bit, but this does not want to work. We held Apple yesterday, but we knew that there was a catalyst for Apple to go long yesterday on those iPhones. There it is, man. We will drop out of that one. So we'll fail again on Nvidia, trying to catch the bottoms. Just not worth getting too fancy with it, man. Google was at a level. We took it. Look what Google's doing right back to the upside. Intel, again, another good trade right off that fade, right? As Intel goes down with a catalyst. And here we are with Nvidia waiting for something to happen. Not good. We should have been a little bit more patient on this one and let this name fall in. I still like the long on Nvidia. It's still up on the day into this market, but still, that's a nice little flush there on NVDA to start the day. So failed on that one. I don't know, guys. We've taken some hits on these names early and then battled it back. But, right now, we're going to have to wait. Is ASML doing anything? Look at ASML. We should have been looking at that a little bit more carefully. Google still holding higher and Intel. Good hold on that one. OB as that looks like it's getting lower as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think, again, Intel's holding that 22 mark as of right now. There was some size there. Nothing too crazy, about 2,000 lots and just churning right now. The market is coming in real hot to the downside with a lot of these chip names selling off right there. Softy printing pretty much at day lows. We've been printing, red candles back to back here on a lot of these large cap names. I think Spider holding 571 now. 579 now. So let's see if that gives us a bit of a continuation back to the downside here. Morgan Stanley still hovering on top of this 119. I did get a little short again, but again, going to keep it tight there. Last try on the short as this bank is quite strong on the day. Nothing too crazy as of right now in terms of a pullback there on Morgan Stanley. FXI to the upside there, Sean.
Really?
So FXI is actually bidding up. Let's see if it can come into that 32 mark, prior day high on FXI. To see, I like the idea of that continuation to the downside, but again, we've been selling off quite aggressively over the past few days, so maybe a little bit of a relief for that continuation to kind of step back in, for that selling to kind of step back in at prior levels on FXI and some of these other names as well. Again, if you're looking at Yang, again, that is the bear ETF. That one is selling off as well. So there I go again, getting stopped out of Morgan Stanley as it trades a little bit higher back towards that 120 mark. What's up, Adara?
Be wary, SMR still really strong. This one just made new days highs, just above 1520, pulling back to around 1510. This one running after Amazon announced $500 million funding round. for X Energy to help develop some small modular reactor and nuclear power technology. We know quite a few of these mega cap tech names, including GOOGL and MSFT, announcing these energy and nuclear related investments. So keep an eye on D as well. Dominion Energy also initially running here on this note. SMR up over 11%, over 20% shortfall in this one as well, guys.
Good call on that one. We looked at SMR. SMR is actually on our list as well. We talked about that in the pre-market. Good look there. Thanks to Dara for bringing that to our attention as we just trade some of these big cap names. 690. I'm back into Nvidia here, just thinking if 690 can hold there on ASML. Not sure if that's going to happen or not. We're into Nvidia right now and basically flat on that trade, but we're going to have to let it go a little bit more now. 132.36 we're long, so it's just at 132.25. We'll see if it can go upside right now, breaking through, and then back up to 133. We got stopped out at 75%. That's our typical thing. Once it takes 132, we bought it back. So let's see if it wants to work out. We're still looking at Google breaking near that bottom. Let's check out AIFF. Again, just have a quick look at Firefly, halted again to the downside. This name's not going to be that liquid, so might not be too tradable. DJT, we wanted to look at that as well. All right, so I'm still bidding 25 or 25.50 to see if it does drop into there. Obviously, if you're going to be a little more aggressive on the name, you are just now breaking through VWAP. So you did get a beautiful little run up there of about 10 straight minutes of green candles. Then we have that wick top. Generally, you're looking for like exhaustion candles like that. So there's that top exhaustion candle on this name as it falls right back into the 200 period again. So right there, some stop outs or just couldn't get going through 29, comes right into that level again of 29.30s or so and stops pretty much flat there on DJT. So we'll see now what happens. You're just looking for these kissy, like there's a big wick to the downside, brought back up, and sort of the same things happening right into here on these sort of indecision candles, both wick to the top side, wick to the downside, then we go up. So right there, like look at that. So that could be now your next level of support, 28.40s, as we just bounced pretty solidly off there again. Wow, oh wow, Obi, man. I mean, I'm feeling still horrible.
Gotta have more on that.
What did you call me?
I said gotta have more on that.
Oh, man, sometimes I crack myself up. Okay, no, I knew you said that, obviously. So there we go right now. Yeah, going to try to get some more shares out here. As I just missed, actually, we'll take an 88 there. I just missed that 86, but we'll take an 88 as we wait to see what's happening now with Intel. What a great trade that was. Reloaded on that one, so that's kind of like a day saver here. And a day ruiner is Nvidia, but we're going to go over to Adair, and I'm going to get another coffee.
ASML just gave up support at 690, now down about 5.5%. We still have their conference call going on. The CFO saying that the company needs about 2 billion euros in Q4 bookings in order to meet its new 2025 sales guidance. So CFO saying they're going to need about 2 billion euros in their Q4 bookings to help meet that guidance. ASML still pretty weak here, guys.
Billion euros, that's all right. Okay, so just night on the town. All right, so we'll wait to see. Now Google's trying to pull back into 164. So we've already let this name run up. Now it's coming back in. I am not going to defend this bottom right here. We did talk about that 200 period. I'd rather it get there than me wait for it to get there. So we'll get out if this breaks. I think I have the trade in. Yeah, 164. So we're getting close to getting stopped out. And the reason why I've changed my opinion on this is the market. And damn, Daniel, man, did we call that market move down and we do not have it. Feeling bearish, it's written right on here, and unfortunately we ride. The only bear in town right now on both of our accounts is Intel, and that just, I mean, oh boy, Obi, I mean, if we're ever going to say oh boy for anything, I feel like it would be one of these ones, man. Intel just continues to get clocked back and forth here every day. Intel seems to have something about it. It tried to break through that 24. Now you're coming back down to the downside here on some security worries. That's never a good thing. But yeah, we've made a lot on this, but lost more on Nvidia. So not so good there. Yeah, I think you're right, Coffee Trader. Nvidia is making me change my mind about these longs. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But ASML, I'm guessing right here, is trying to break. Yeah, so ASML does break that 690. So yeah, maybe Nvidia is not the name that we need to be in the chip space right now to the long. We should probably look for some stronger longs. You looked at the banks already. Yeah, that was really super hot as well. I am going to call out for an APB for more coffee. All right, Google right there breaks. We'll be flat on Google. Take the trade up there, take the trade back down. So relatively flat. We talked about only, I don't know what we had left. Probably had 60%. Those look like 40%, 10% markers to me as well. But there goes to the downside. So Google does break. And Nvidia right now, I'm giving it. I'm going to take some more shares, but I'm getting out if we break 131.50. So we should be buying some more in around this area. 131.75s is where I'm bidding right now, where we got stopped out. So if we can get some, well, we got stopped out at 80s, but if we get a bid down there, I'll take it. So far, not so good here, trying to catch some of those longs. You're good for a drink, or?
Yeah, I'm good for now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that Intel definitely coming in, but Morgan Stanley, oh boy, look at how strong this ticker is, up into the 120 now. These are all-time highs once again.
Yeah.
And again, the selling comes in aggressively, and then all the selling continues to get bought up there. So nothing too crazy just yet. There's a little bit of a bid there on Intel coming in off of the 70s. So let's see what we do in and around here. We are trading a little bit lower. Pre-market low, once again, is at 21.51, so about 40 pennies away from that one there on Intel. Let's see if it can get down there. Or do we reclaim some of these levels here? Opening price at 22.38. Again, the only significant size that we saw so far was at that 22 mark with that 2,000 lots sitting there, and after that order got taken out, we did trade a little bit lower. We attempted to push past that 22, but we are trading lower than that as of right now. So that's something interesting to continue watching. Bit of a downtrend on Intel there, holding some moving averages, holding some candles, whatever indicator you want to use. Bit of a trend down, and the volume is kind of fading off as well. Again, in reflection with the futures here, you can see how aggressive the selling came in right off of the open there. Some of these consolidation, you can see the consolidation breakdown here on the NASDAQ quite better than some of these other names right here. But that 20,340-ish area right here, straight quadunk right off of the open down into 20,020 area, I guess, areas right now. So as Morgan Stanley continues to make some fresh highs, I get stopped again on that short. So I'm going to stay a little bit more patient on this one. No real sign of a break. It's holding power bar on the 5-minute. It's holding trend on multiple levels as well. So again, I got to be a little bit patient with this one to see if it can come back into VWAP right there. Getting short on the front side, not the best idea right now, Sean, on Morgan Stanley. Again, these banks are running, so the question becomes: I don't have my bank basket running right now, so I will get on that. But Morgan Stanley, definitely something to watch. Schwab was one from yesterday, so let's see what that one is up to. Did it get past that 74 yet? Not yet, just shy of that 74 as of right now. 74.60 is the high from pre-market yesterday on Schwab. BAC also had earnings yesterday. Let's see what that one is up to. That one with a bit of a bid as well. Prior day consolidation highs just underneath that 43 mark. We're trading at 42.80s on BAC. Again, aggressive strength here. So let's take a quick look at these charts. This is Morgan Stanley. This one here is BAC. Look at this aggressive strength on some of these banks. Schwab here. Let's see what JPM is up to as well. And before we pass it back to Sean, let's take a quick look at XLF. XLF is probably looking very similar here. Take a look at that. XLF prior day high sitting at 47.39. 47.30 is what we're trading at right now. 47.39 is right there.
Tomorrow.
What's up, Sean?
I just put in the chat, like, I'm like a little bit feeling sick to myself right now that we're not short the futures. We talk about it all the time. We say, like, some of the most important things here is that you have to have those spidey senses, and you have to have like an opinion on which way the market's going to go, and then go with it when it happens. And we say that I think anyways, this is like 80 to 90% of an art form, and the rest is science, where you look for the levels and you pick them. But you got to have that sort of ability to hold things, ability to make calls, and some of that comes. I want to say maybe we could do a poll up if I was thinking about an idea: green or red grapes, because I have some green grapes right here, and they're really tasty. The grapes for me have to be seedless because I'm not trying to choke on anything here. So are you a green or red grape kind of guy?
I don't know. I think I like the green ones. The green ones. I mean, reds aren't too bad, but I like the green ones for sure. Yeah.
I mean, part of the reason why I'd like, green or red is the choice. Would be the choice I would think there. Seed less, man. I don't want no seeds. What am I going to question is that, Fabian? Maybe seeds. Maybe ones with seeds are tastier. I don't know what the story is right there. But I should be choosing red because of the wine factor. But right now, we will wait to see what's going on with Intel, Nvidia. The NASDAQ here is making new lows right now as we go. And wow, yuck. I hate the fact that I'm only short Intel right now. We should be looking for some more plays. All right. Oh, it's up there. Okay.
Oh, nice, yeah.
I'm going to vote for green. Make sure you guys get into the chat immediately because we need to see what the results are here. Right there, it's a battle. This is, oh, wow. There it goes, man. This is better than the election right now. Okay, right now, 54% is going for the green ones. Oh, come on, don't close it. We already have 150 votes here, 180 votes right now, 191 votes, 200 votes. This might be one of the best polls, 240 votes. How do we have more votes than likes? Go over there and hit likes. Now, 400 votes right now. Oh, my God. You guys are loving this poll right there. Thank you so much for all 400 votes.
Yeah.
In 10 seconds.
Yeah. That's wild.
Jeez, man. Come on, man. Show some love. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. And right now, green, man. This is, wow, 700 votes. That poll's been up for 30 seconds. 700 votes.
It's squeezing.
850 votes. They are squeezing the votes right now. Thank you, everybody, for all of that. The votes are now over 1,000. What? The poll is going to get halted right now. You guys are right, Ryan Lewis, right there. Wow, what kind of a... Does this even make sense right now? We have, how many people do we have watching? This can't be right, is it? We have 8,000 people watching, and we already have 1,200 votes right now in under 1 minute for the poll. Guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you so much. This day is just getting better, and it's happening now with the Dara. Honestly, 13.
For the second day in a row, we have the NASDAQ sharply underperforming the S&P 500. SPY down about 0.12% right now, so down, about 0.1%. We have the NASDAQ, though, down more than 0.5% today as we have some continued chip weakness. We'll get to that in a minute. Lots of stories, though, continuing and lots of continuations. Bitcoin continuously on watch here as it nears that 68,000 level. We have oil prices still a little bit weaker as we have ongoing demand concerns and a bit of a pullback after that strength we had in oil a couple of weeks ago on the tension and turmoil going on in the Middle East. Right now, though, we do have the SPY coming into a bit of a previous support area, this 579, currently around 579.15. So it could be a bit of an interesting area for this market. Now, in terms of chip weakness, ASML really leading the pack here, down about 5% after comments from its conference call. We know it had its earlier than expected earnings release yesterday. CEO of ASML saying, amongst other things, that the chip market would be, quote, sad without AI demand, and also warning that this slowness in this market could continue into 2025. So not great guidance coming out here of ASML. SMR, though, on the other side of things, continuously getting nice, strong volume to the upside, up about 14% right now, with a decent short float over 20% from what I was seeing. Amazon announcing that it's leading a $500 million funding round for this development of small modular reactors. A lot of these nuclear and energy names running up on that story. We also have, last but not least, UAL, an earnings name doing basically the exact opposite of ASML. We have United up almost 10% right now. They did beat across the board for EPS and sales. They also announced a $1.5 billion buyback program, though their guidance for Q4 EPS much weaker than expected. Market not seeming to care about that, though, pushing higher. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to like and subscribe.
Wow, 1,400 votes. People do like grapes, as you can see right now. Okay, Nvidia, we did buy that dip. We talked about buying that into 131.75, so we did that. Let's get some more out here. We just got some more out on the top side. We just broke through 132, so we can actually watch out for that. Apparently, stock VS right now starting to go versus systems. It's starting to go back up to the upside again, another 600% runner today. A couple halts, now reopens up in and around $8 VS, starting to go as well. But honestly, man, we're trying to make our day back right now with Nvidia. So we'll see if that can go higher right now. AIFF has been another one that just keeps on halting. So watch out for some volume coming back in this once it settles down. Our drug stock, Bright Minds, right here, Biosciences. Wow, okay, here we go on Bright Minds. Right now, come on, alter, there it is. So halting now a bunch of times. Again, it looks like here on Bright Minds, but trying to hold out for this 32.50 area. I say, oh, wow, because it's kind of just like barcoding right now. Interesting right here for, that's drug.cn.
Yeah, I was like, what
I was going to say, that doesn't make any sense. Drug there, it is 23. Okay, it makes more sense right there. Down to the downside now, 24. But at the same time, not doing anything right now, drug. So watch out for that. All right, Obi, I have to address this as there we go. Huge move back up for Nvidia. Thankfully, we're in this name back into the long side. We were able to buy some of those dips down there, and we did get that 131.75. So now we'll see if it can go back up. It all went wrong. It was all a dream when it was trying to break upside there through 134. But then, we started reading that Word Up magazine, and the next thing we knew, we were caught. And all the way to the downside goes Nvidia, catches us. We tried to defend that 132.50, which was the 50-period moving average. By defending it, I mean just standing there and getting run over. And then when that happened, we had to get out, and we started to get out more and more and more. And then eventually it breaks 132, and we did tap the bottom and get out there. But you know what? I mean, that's honestly life of a trader. We did get out at 75% and bought some more back. We just put on our largest position down there, which is why I am starting to scalp a little bit more out here into the top side of this 30 marker. We need to get back to the 200 period for this trade to work. Intel's sort of just dancing. I'll get your opinion on that maybe in a minute as well, as you do now have that backside fade, hopefully, on Morgan Stanley for Obi. And that's it for me. So I'm going to let Intel settle down. I mean, if the market wants to go back up, great. We just bounced off 20,200 there, which was a pretty good level. I was looking at 72 on the TQQs as a possible area. But again, we sort of just crushed that right to the downside there. And it looks like 72 might have been a good little level there. We've talked about this before on this name here. And this, of course, is the market. That coincides with 20,200. So if you like that level, $72 might be the one for you. Like grapes right now, 8,000 watching, 1,500 votes. And it is a close one right now. Get in that poll right here, 52-48. Wow, that's pretty good for the grape poll there. I'm kind of mixed on what my opinion is. They have to be hard, like nice,
yeah, they can't
crisp,
be too soft,
right?
Right.
No, salad type style grapes. Cut them in half.
Do
not feed them to your kids. Grapes are not very good unless they're cut up. They get stuck there, or your dog as well. All right, what is going on? You're. So Morgan, I guess, kept going up if you got out of it, I guess. There.
Yeah. That thing just ripped through that day high. Day high was at 42.81, prints and 99s off of that break. Just continuing to push up there as, again, Morgan Stanley super strong on the day, pushing all-time highs. So, again, I'm going to stop trying short on this one now. I'm going to be patient and wait for an actual. I was looking at the 5-minute chart there. 5-minute broke down a little bit there below that 120.27 area, but bid right back up. So gonna be a little bit more patient with that one there as that long continues to work quite well there on Morgan Stanley there. Again, we were looking at XLF as well. XLF, again, now pushing its prior day high, or attempting to push its prior day high right there. You can see that aggressive selling that did come in going into the end of the day there off of a trend break here on XLF. We're trading a little bit higher there. 47.40 is the day high right now. 47.39 prior day high. So maybe XLF is maybe a little bit of a better vehicle than Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley a little volatile here as it skips 10, 15 pennies on some of these high day breaks there. So maybe I should be looking at this XLF. Well, I'm already looking at this XLF, but again, keeping a closer eye on it should be a better idea. There's some size, Sean, sitting on Intel. So let me pull up Intel here on an Intel book for you guys so we can take a look at this together. Right here, you can see that almost 1,000 lots sitting at that 2180 mark. So like I said before, last time we saw some size was at that 22 mark. Now there's some size here at that 2180 mark. Let's see if this size gets taken out. See if this selling is really on the board today. Look at that as the bid decrements right there. That's a little bit of a double, and right there, boom, 80s get taken out right there as that 700 lots or 800 lots and some change get taken out at 2180s here on Intel. What is the day low? You may ask. I am asking as well. Is 75, and we're still trading. It was 79 earlier, 75 on a little bit of wiki action right there. Again, that pre-market low being at 21.51, only about 30, 40 pennies away from that in this chop as of right now on Intel. But take a look at this, Sean. The ES has pretty much fully recovered to its opening prices. The NASDAQ is on its way there as well, with coming in with a little bit of a bounce. So I'm going to look at some of these large caps to see who's having the biggest bounce. Amazon, relatively strong. We kind of established that coming off of the open there. Alphabet as well.
Don't mention
about
Google.
A 50% reversion happening on Google. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were in that position.
Nah, I'm just playing around with you. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, we are out of Google, but oh, that's it. Hold my mic. I'm gonna go fight that guy over there, Fabian. No, just playing around. But look at that level, man. 164. 164. We wrote down 164. We are having feels because of Nvidia, and Coffee Trader actually pointed that out. He's like, dude, you probably are feeling that way because of Nvidia. And Coffee Trader, you are right. And that is exactly what wound up happening, and we wound up getting out for still a flat trade. But again, we write down on the sticky note today, shorting Intel at 22.50. That's my best trade of the day, and I'm assuming it's going to be yours. And then we'll have to, and again, both Obi and I sat down here today, as often we do, with Neil and everybody as well, and we sit down and we say, okay, what are we looking at? You know, and that's what develops the watch list. That's what develops the sticky note. That's what, you know, helps build all of this stuff up. And I really liked Google down there at 164, but I didn't like it enough to hold it apparently as the long. I was just sort of. And this is what happens, man. We talk about, again, it being a mental game here when you sit here every single day. And it's sometimes you just battle those ideas. And I mean, we were thinking about short, was a little upset, obviously, that we didn't have that short. And once you sort of get caught, sort of like a deer in headlights there, and we should have, you know, either looked at that 20,200 a little bit better down there for the long, or at least considered this. But, you know, we get out at 164 and it's a flat trade. So this is where I have to sort of just calm down a little bit, because that 164 break, we get out for that. So that's a good trade for us. 15-cent hit, considering, you know, the shot. I think it was worth it. But it does wick down into 73s and 80s, right? And so thing is like I do save that money there. Remember, if it continues to go down and the market does break lower, then this position, I'd look back and say, why did I hold it? It broke a key level. I should have been out, right? And so there's always that sort of push and pull every time when you think about what the market's going to do against your position. So I just wanted to bring that up as another point that, you know, you can't always look back and be like, oh man, I should have held it. It broke the level. We talked about this with Brian Shannon earlier. And by the way, we are now $1 in the money on this trade. Right now, as Nvidia just goes higher. We take some out there at the 200 and at the 50. So this trade working out for us big time right now on Nvidia. Wow, we're almost going to be, we could be back to positive on this name very soon on Nvidia. Intel, we're able to get some more lows there at 76. But what I was getting at here, although this will now be also $1 in the money, I can't really consider that too strongly. It broke the level, and as I said, Brian, we talked about that. He had an FSLR trade. Get out of it once it breaks, and you got to follow your rules, man. And you get out when you get out. And unfortunately for me, only trading 4 names today. And by the way, here's another one.
Another one.
Yeah, another failed one. QNRX, we go long early, only to see this happen now. Okay, Fabian, okay. All right, so here we go. AIFF is back, resumed trading again. There goes QNRX, nice upside. AIFF back to the open side again right now, $3.80. The reason why this name halts, Obi and everybody, I know Obi would know this, the spread is 10% as it is. So you get a 30-cent spread on a $3 name, yeah, you're going to halt on quick moves. So that's the problem right now with AIFF. 99 problems, Nvidia ain't one as right now. Wow, wee-woo-wee. There it goes. Let's go. Did we get stopped out at the bottom? Yes, we did. Do we have no idea what we're doing in the first 10 minutes? Correct. But we hit it after that. And there it goes, Obi. We put on a good amount of shares. I was about to point to it on my screen. I'm about to just show you right there. 131.75. This trade, my stop is at 131.50. 25 cents worth of risk. You best believe we put on some shares down there. And right now, there we go. Bang. We're happy with that one, man. As the bull comes back in right now, right back up to VWAP. I think it's worth getting out a little bit here as the market has made us look smart down there at 20,200. But Nvidia is really running now. Check in on ASML quickly, and then we'll throw it back to OB. Yeah, 695 right there. I'm going to take another piece out here on Nvidia. Why not? As we start to break upside now. There we go. We get some 17s out there on Nvidia. Nice area. We might have got 2 fills there, but definitely out at 17. Let's see if we get back to 134. Oh boy. If this gets back to 134, then this frown gets turned completely upside down.
Oh boy. So I did move over to XLF. I liked it a little bit better there, and yeah, a little bit of a breakdown happening just below that 47.35, coming right into VWAP here. 47.21s is VWAP here on XLF, and again, this thing has been doing about 7.3 million volume on the day there. So you know what? If we're going to be on top of VWAP right there, I think I'm going to take some off on top of VWAP. See if that comes in. Morgan Stanley finally does break down. That's funny. As soon as I leave it for the short, it does break down. But have no fear, I'm still here. We're still trading XLF on the same move. On the same move. You know what I mean? So we sized accordingly.
Exactly.
Would have probably ended up making or being relatively the same on that one there. Intel continuing to consolidate a little bit sideways there on the day. So maybe some more patience for this one to continue a little bit lower, as it's found a little bit of a bid here. We know we saw some size in the 70s there. Sorry, was it the 80s right there on Intel trading, continuing to trade below some of these moving averages and just teetering on top of that pre-market low as of right now, 2150s. Let's see if maybe we might get a reversion to VWAP here. But again, that market is hella strong on the rip right back up. We're trading at 20,300 here on the NASDAQ. And Intel has barely recovered anything, any of its kind of a flush as of right now. So maybe we're poised to come into that 22. 22 is that VWAP level right now as we start to trade a little bit sideways here on Intel. The 15-minute chart, though, Sean, is looking perfectly fine. So is the 30-minute. We haven't had that many bars print on the 30-minute just yet. There's about 14 minutes left for this 15 and 30-minute candle to finish printing as the ES pushes right back up towards its highs there, and the spider trades back above 580. Should be interesting here. Alphabet is the strongest one of the Mag 7 right now, trading above, what is that? Above its opening price? Yeah, above opening range highs right now on Google. Google. Trading above its opening range highs, whereas Amazon's trading sideways, Nvidia's trading a little sideways, Softies to the downside, and Apple is definitely to the downside. We saw that crazy reversion come in yesterday off of that strong push up all the way into 237.49s on Apple, and it seems like that all-day selling on Apple continued off of the open today for a flush down to 230s. So interesting stuff. And again, as the NASDAQ and the ES pull right back up, Apple is still trading well within its lows. Low days 229.84. We're trading at 230.38 right now. So going to keep eyes on that one going forward. Okay, so a little bit of a pullback here happening on FXI, Sean. So maybe this is the area we were looking for as of right now. High of day is 31.77, currently trading at 31.62. So maybe I'm going to pull this one up right now and see what's going on here on FXI.
Yeah, so we have a couple new positions right now. And by the way, boom goes SMR. I just checked the account, man. We're up 37% or 47% right now on SMR. I mean, most of the day is today, as there it goes, man. We wrote this down on the sticky note for $14. You know, the lowest it got to was $14.85, $14.55 right there. There's SMR. Watch it. Amazon talking nuclear right there as we talk about what's going on with SMR. And you guys know we're long this one in the old PA as well. There goes SMR, baby. Do we like that stock or what right now? New scale, of course, is SM to the R. But the new position alert is not that. It is the NASDAQ as we go short on the TQQs. We just bounced off there, 10 cents in the money, 53s. I thought I was bidding. I'm bidding 72.55, so I guess it didn't get down there. Hopefully we'll take a little bit of a fill there and then look for lower as we come into VWAP and then the 50 period. Give me that. There it is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And here comes another one coming through for you right now on that. We did empty a little bit out. I'm going to take a little bit more out right now at 12s. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Give us those 12s, man. There it is. Okay. So we'll take a little bit more out there on Nvidia as that may or may not pull back in if the futures go. Nvidia kind of went meme crazy there for a minute from 131.50 basically, where we got long all the way to that upside there. It just ripped up about $1.50. We're happy to take that in. Oh boy, Obi, here we go, man. We're starting to go lower now on the TQs. So, oh damn, man, if we could just avoid that opening rush, we will. Then we definitely need to do that for tomorrow. Avoid that opening rush one more time. But so far, so good. And over to the desk now with Miss A.
Thank you to our sponsors at Trade the Pool. Trade the Pool allows traders like you to get evaluated and trade real shares using the company's capital. No PDT rule holding you back. That's how they give a true trading edge. Here's the exciting part. Trade the Pool has just launched a limited edition program to evaluate stock traders like you. For a one-time fee of just $97, you'll receive $20,000 in buying power. And all you have to do is reach the profit goal. The best part of this limited edition program is that they have reduced the profit goal and the minimum trades required to reach the funded phase. And the profit split has been upgraded, so you keep 70% of the profit. You should definitely want to check it out. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description for more information.
So Intel taking a little bit of a sell-off there, coming right back into that consolidation low. 2174 is the low now. We talked about that 2175 being the low earlier. So maybe a little bit of a one penny lick of that consolidation, but it's been pretty tight and sideways as of right now. Now you can see it here a little bit clearer here without that grid, but take a look at this sideways consolidation, pretty flat, 2190s and 2175. So about a 15 penny range here, consolidating on Intel, doing a little bit of volume as well. Volume has been kind of stepping off. You can see the relative volume. I guess the relative volume has been a little stable there 3 times. Was doing much more in the pre-market, of course, doing over 9 times, going a little bit lower into the open, down to 5s and 6s. As we come down into 3 times our vol as of right now. So we do have a little bit of decreasing relative volume as we consolidate, volume stepping off as well. But the thing is, the market's bid up quite aggressively relative to what we did right off of the open, and Intel still consolidating within its, I guess, a lower quartile here of price action on the day today. So gonna keep watching that one. Let's see if that breaks down. But before that, we have small cap recap with Adara.
IWM actually breaking up and breaking out of that double top we had just above 225 starting yesterday. On the 15-minute chart, we make a higher low around mid to high 224s, and then we push a higher here, currently trading well above 226. So that's a bit of a topping tail candle on that 15-minute chart of the Russell 2000. In terms of small caps, what I wanted to do was take a look at some of these names that initially were trading up over 100%, see how we're doing now. We also had BDRX, which basically gave up its whole move, but let's take a look at some of these other names still above 100% on the day. Versus Systems trading up more than 400%. This one has a 6.5 million share float, announcing a $2.5 million investment and licensing agreement with this company, Aspis. So good look here for VS. Next up, we have 180 Life Sciences Corp. This is ATNF. This company announcing it's going to be entering the online gaming industry through the acquisition of a gaming technology platform. So these comments from the CEO sending ATNF, which has, from what I was seeing, roughly a 13.5% short float to the upside here today. Trying to find a bit of support here. And last but not least, we have STEC. This one a bit more range bound. Frequent halter, still up here over 500% is Santec. No news on this from what I was seeing. Could be a bit of a sympathy play as this company is a Chinese ADR, and we know those ones have been on watch as of late. So STEC to the upside. What a look here, guys.
Oh boy. Nvidia is now $1, $2 now dancing for us now as there it goes right back as if As if my paisan over here, this Nvidia is driving me crazy. Like this is just, I was just telling Obi, I was like, you know where I went wrong was punching 134 longs. It's at 134 right now. But there it goes all the way to the downside, man. You know what? Stick with your damn trade. And I said to Obi, like, I don't know what to do here. What wound up happening was very, very simple. We get too excited too early. Not a good trade. Coming back in there, we hit the VWAP, we hit the trade that we like, make the money back upside. Then we get, this order was pending for the whole time. As soon as the market opened, I liked the 134 long. We had bounced off there a couple times in the pre-market, thought that once the market opened, we could get volume and go. But that was the complete opposite, was to sell the event. So it breaks through. We get out of a little bit right there on Nvidia. Wow, now we're breaking through 134. Absolutely on fire, this trade, guys. Okay, anyways, so that was the trade there. And then by the time it came back in, we didn't even have that many shares at this point because of the fall in. It was right here. We thought we were going to defend that 200 period moving average. Once it failed, it didn't even give us a chance to bounce back, which was a huge problem. We understand that. We start to get out thinking like, oh my gosh, this is not going to work out for us. And all of a sudden it breaks. I gave it 20 cents past 132. We get out at 131.80 right there, right? And then I was like, okay, now let's see what winds up happening. It takes 132 again. We get long playing off that. Start to take a little bit out at the 200 period. Those are 50-cent winners. And all of a sudden, the same, by the graces of Nvidia gods, I guess, it comes right back into the low of the day again. And that's where I was like, Cookie Monster. And we took many shares there. And then it just rips back many shares. You know, China right there. Many great trades on today. As there it goes. Oh my, we'll just go props up right there, Obi. We have made our whole day back right there off of this one play. So, oh boy, it is a banger right there. But what wasn't a banger, and again, we wind up about flat on this trade. The TQs, take a little piece out there, get another piece out as it breaks higher. Now we're at the 200 period on the TQQs. This could possibly be a short, but ain't no way, and you know what, that I am sure. What in the... Remember, I said this is going meme crazy a while ago. Nvidia can't prove me wrong right now as it just keeps on going. Like, I just got out at 45s there thinking like, oh my gosh, now it's 55s. Life of a scalper today again right here on Nvidia. And this is just absolutely on fire right now as we continue to go to the upside. I don't know if I've missed a news story on this or not, but ASML could be part of this as ASML right now not... Scratch that. ASML says, hold my beer, has nothing to do with Nvidia. As there goes Nvidia, I'm going to take one more piece out, and then why not? Let's just hold the rest here and see how high we can get. Yesterday, we touched in and around that 140 level before ASML came and crushed everybody's dreams. And right now, Nvidia bouncing back, doing yeoman's work today, up that 2%. And really, man, what a change of events here. That day was sour early, boy, and got going late. So that was a good one. All right, QNRX, go to sleep. AIFF right now, 360, not doing too much. Has not halted since I resaid that this probably will halt again. ATNF, let's have a quick check on this. All right, only up. I mean, it's only up right now, 700%, but bouncing off a VWAP nicely at 9, trying to hold that good little levels there. I say that tongue-in-cheekly because, of course, as you look here, no telling where this name's going to go. 700%, 900%. What's the difference? 200%, I guess. But we're going to see about that break now through 13, I would say, could be that next little level there. Pause for concern on ATNF. And then one more before I throw it back to you. Actually, I'll look at two. We'll look at drug, which I looked at before. Wrong symbol, but this is the right one here. As we trade drug on the Canadian Stock Exchange. There's another name, symbol drug. Don't mistrade it. $24 not moving around. Huge runner yesterday. You had some fun stories about that, about traders losing their whole. I don't know if that's a weekly loss for those guys or not, but making some moves there. And then the other one was DJT that we have not gotten filled yet. But again, we're looking here, holding pretty well, man. Holding above VWAP. DJT up that 8%. Again, your ears to ground on this one because it's going to be news-based, right? Yesterday we had Donald come and talk a little bit about. Just threw up a bit in my mouth there. Google is at one. Wow. Okay, Google. 164 long if drops. Okay. There's the drop. There's the 164 long. There's the outs here at 164, 80s, 90s. There's the break of 164 and us getting out clean, and then there's $1.40 to the upside. All right, I got you. All right, we're also going to wait to see what happens here with Nvidia, as we do have another offer. There it is. Yes, sir. Let's go, man. Look, no Google, no cry, because Nvidia's been a monster here today. We continue to have that one. Intel back above 22 right now, Obi.
Yeah. So it came right back into VWAP here, so I am watching it pretty close. I guess my average is in and around that VWAP as of right now as well. And the market is pretty strong. You can see the NASDAQ kind of recovering pretty much to its opening prices right there as well. So Intel coming back to VWAP as the NASDAQ does that. So going to keep a watch on that. Nice trade on that Nvidia, Sean. As Nvidia, again, it was going sideways, and with that bounce that came in with the market, breaking through its day highs as well. So solid trade on that. With the chips pushing up, you can see what the NASDAQ is doing as well. The ES blasted through its pre-market consolidation highs as well. So, something to keep an eye out for as well. So let's see if Intel stays heavy in and around VWAP. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I have no idea, but I'm looking for something significant. There's a bit of size there at 02s on an edge X right there, but 130 lots, nothing too crazy there. We've seen bigger size get taken out on the bid on the way down. I remember it was like 2,000 lots at 22, another 1,000 in the 80s, and then some size in the 70s, I think, as well on Intel. Again, looking for this name to continue selling off, and if it doesn't, that's perfectly fine as well. Morgan Stanley did kind of sell off aggressively right there. You can see that XLF is now consolidating above its VWAP as of right now, so we're going to continue watching that. But before that, we got crypto with Adara.
BTC looking for its third straight green day here, pushing quite intensely here into this previous resistance around 68,000. We did briefly peek our heads above 68,000 earlier today. Currently trading around 67,750, so about 250 points below that critical 68 level. Clear little support here at that just above 60,000 on the daily chart, where we initially found some resistance going back to mid-September, and then a bit of a double bottom here October 2nd, and it looks like 11th before continuing to push even higher over the last few days. With BTC as well, it's worth noting we have some analysts, including Brett Munster of Blockforce Capital, which is like research and building company working with blockchain. Brett Munster saying that because we have this interesting global liquidity, specifically going on in China, as well as geopolitical impacts and what's happening here in the election, with both candidates having some kind of support for Bitcoin, BTC is maybe poised for new all-time highs as we end the year, especially after roughly 6 months of consolidation. So some crypto analysts saying BTC and some of these other assets are at a pretty good place. Looks like in a chart, we're at a pretty key place here as well. Bitcoin up 1.5%. Ethereum up about 0.25%, holding on nicely to this 2,600 level, but pretty stagnant compared to where it was trading pre-market. We had pretty much all these crypto names, with the exception of Cardano and Avalanche, to the upside. And it's worth noting Dogecoin notably strong here, up more than 10%. What a morning so far for crypto, guys.
Yeah, 68,000 trying to hold there on Bitcoin. Thanks to Darren. We talked about that yesterday with the support. It seems like coming from both sides. Always nice to see there if you are a bull on Bitcoin. Nice to see those levels holding. That is for sure. All right, just a quick update. I took a piece out there at 97. It looks like Intel wants to come back down, so my bad. We'll take some more out right now at 90 to make up for that. Hopefully we'll print through. I'm just on paying. Did you see that?
What?
Okay. My whole screen's just basically shut off there, so hopefully we'll figure that out. The thing about it is, Rob, it's similar to, I think, what happened there with our memory card the other day, and now you can see that the animations are so much cleaner. It degrades over time. So I just wonder if maybe one of the cables was just loose there. I'll double check it. I have my gym bag on the other side. Maybe sometimes it interferes with that. Okay, so 31.75, like we just took, wait a minute, we're long at 131.75. 134.75 makes it a $1, a $2, a $3 winner there on Nvidia. We're still waiting for that. Did I see Nike yet? Thank you there, Terrence. No, I did not. I've been looking at a lot of different names today, including that QNRX, of course, including that drug, ATNF, Biosciences there with drug, ATNF as well, AIFF with Firefly. moving around there as well with that news. But Nike today up 1%. Yeah, nicely done. As the market gave me those bear feelings early, now we're starting to climb a little bit. I'd still like to short a few things if possible. I'm still not convinced that, this whole endeavor with the chips is over yet. I mean, obviously we make back our whole day on this Nvidia long, but at the same time, it definitely gave us some kind of feels there earlier on for that tank down. I mean, you can't have a $3 winner without talking about that 50-cent hit on a lot of shares. So that does suck, but at the same time, we make it back a little bit. Yeah, Nike here, $84 looks to be a top. Again, like the name, don't love the name or the space. New CEO, we'll see if they can put up or shut up again. But, that's what companies need to do. They need to reinvent themselves, and I think that Nike's trying to do that right there. We saw Brian Nickel and the effect that had with Starbucks. I think you can get a similar push through there with, I forget his name over there in Nike, but it's been a guy that's definitely a product guy. Work with them, I think it was for 20 years with different jobs and whatnot. So Nike lost their way a little bit there during COVID. Not lost their way, they just went a different way, and they were really trying to force the do it at home, the off the app, and direct to consumer is the word I'm looking for there, and bypassing stores like Foot Locker, and just a lot of that hype was lost. There were big collector items there. We had SneakerCon on back in the day and stuff like that, but then with COVID sort of ending, we saw different moves happening. We had the move back down in crypto names, and some of these runners sort of calming down a bit. Now the runners are back. So maybe shoe sales might get going again here as more money flowing through.
I see what you did there.
Huh?
I see what you did there.
Oh, the shoes go running?
The runners are back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't actually do that on purpose, but
it's good. Sometimes it just comes naturally. So I like that idea there. People in the chat were pointing out Palantir. So let's take a quick look at Palantir here. Some increasing relative volume, and it's doing some decent volume as well. See what we're doing on the day right now. 24, almost 25 million shares traded as of right now here on Palantir. Oh boy, take a look at that reversion. That's looking real nice here. Coming right back into VWAP. 40.36 is the day low. I'm a little late for that reversion right now, but if you guys have been pointing it out and you guys have taken that right back to VWAP there, that was nice. That's pretty nice there. I don't know what the EV on that would be, but again, well, it did the reversion to VWAP, let's say that. Trading at 41.16s, VWAP sitting at 41. So, yeah, interesting flush off of the open, again, alongside with the rest of the market as well. Now, as the market bids right back up through through its highs on the ES and attempting to push through the opening prices here on the NASDAQ, Palantir still trading in and around that VWAP, so hasn't really recovered as much as the futures here on the day, but catching a little bit of bid nonetheless. So Zach talking about AMD. Let's see what AMD is up to. Now, I know this is a chip name we don't really, give as much love to as some of the other ones there, but AMD definitely the top ones there. And we saw what it did yesterday. We looked a little bit at this in the pre-market session as well, along with ASML and friends. You can see that right now, pre-market and opening range highs right there, just kind of clipped off of end-of-day consolidation highs. You see that strong selling comes in, a little bit of a bid, can only get to 158 and change, and then it kind of pushes right back on. What's going on?
No, we just have to discuss quickly because we got eSignal on our mind right now. eSignal, trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade your experience to an elite one with eSignal. Click that QR code below and go find out what they're all about. I am honest. Used eSignal for 22 straight years. It is my #1 charting platform that I put on and look at every single day with great watch lists, great scanners, infinite data, and instant trading. I mean, you can hook up your trading account live with eSignal. You can actually hook it up with your Trade Ideas account as well. It's very easy to use. The best part about eSignal for me is the fact that you can entitle every single market pretty much. So with ICE data there, whether or not you want OTC markets, whether or not you want anything in Europe, Asian markets, whatever, eSignal is the place for you. So if you're not just looking at ETFs, options game, anything like that, you can definitely hit this up. Go find out what's going on right now with eSignal. We definitely like that, and we want to thank eSignal. Make sure you scan that QR code below. It's everything you need all in one place, and it is my go-to for charting. So eSignal, thank you once again for providing that to us. So there it is, man. Click the QR code and go find yourself a deal there on e-signal. So, all right, you want that? Hey, someone there in the chat says, what about that poking animation? What's up, Darius? You want that one? Let's get it right here. I have it right here. Don't worry about it. There it is. Do something.
Oh, I like that. Is that
you seen that before?
No. I know. I recognize the meme, but I like that.
Yeah. So you put it down like so. Like for example, like if you want Nvidia to go, you got to call up Nvidia, and then you just put it down here, and then he points out to some key levels. So like watch this. So like here he goes.
Okay, let's see what key level.
Oh. Yeah, see that bottom.
Right there. Okay.
You see what he's saying?
Yeah,
he's like, guys, he's like, why are you not long on that August 5th or that August 30th wick down there at $95? You know,
that's fair.
Like. You know, so anyways, that's what he's all about, or he or she. I don't. Let me see one more time there. I mean, it looks male to me. But okay, we'll see what winds up happening right there with that name, Nike and Nvidia and all of that. So yeah, just good trading happening. We did get some more out there on the 50 period of Intel coming through there. If there are any other names, I mean, we looked at SMR right now. Geez, man, what is the record for votes? Like we had 400 votes in 30 seconds right now.
Wild, right?
SMR is starting to go upside right here. And this is the poll. If you're not part of this yet, let's break some records together. Like 2150 right now, poll number. Do you like, this can't move apparently. It's still 5248, man. This is what it was at 1,400 votes right now. This is what's going on right there right now. So we'll figure out what's going on. Ramin taking some time off. Thank you for asking. She will be back. Nvidia, though, is taking some time off as well, as that's dipping back into VWAP. Potential trade down there. I just typed in VWAP into my e-signal charts. And this is what happens when you type in VWAP. VWAP. Can't believe I did that, but at least, you know, honesty, I mean, we got to talk about what we do. We're fun times here. This is so, again, real lightning quick, man. These are pivot points I have up, R1, S1 as well, looking to see for some up and down levels. So it's not just a pretty face. We do use some technicals around here. But there's the pullback in. This is just a 5-minute chart into VWAP, 133.23. So those are some levels that I try to look at. It looks like we're pulling back now on Nvidia. Good. I mean, it's the same VWAP. VWAP shouldn't change based on your time frame. So that's one thing there. There it is right there, 133.20s coming in. That looks like a good area to maybe reload in on some Nvidia, then dump out if we break through 133. I'm feeling more and more confident on that kind of a trade. So we'll buy some more dips, cancel our now stop. Our stop before was 25 cents from here, and then it went up $3. So we're all good with that. 133.20, let's put a bid in case it gets back into that level for Nvidia.
Yeah, that, again, AMD, we were just talking about AMD a little earlier there, and AMD cracking through its day low and prior day low as well. So it seems like AMD, that selling is continuing on AMD, a little distinctly different from the rest, from some of these other, I guess, tech names. I'm watching SMH and, I guess, AMD Intel as well. But yeah, no, it should be an interesting watch here. ASML continues to kind of look weak as of right now. Before that, we got Sector Watch with Adara.
Another day of NASDAQ slightly underperforming the S&P 500 here, and you could see that reflected especially in the performance of this technology services sector. Some of the names down in this sector, amongst others, of course, are Meta, Microsoft, ORCL, CRM, ADBE, Adobe to the downside on the last day of its Max conference. It's gone on this week. We also have NFLX to the downside. This one on watch ahead of its earnings after the bell tomorrow. Some weakness as well in retail trade led by Amazon, despite their $500 million nuclear investment announcement that seemed to mostly benefit some of these energy-related and nuclear stocks. Speaking of energy and utilities, both sectors pretty strong to the upside today. Health services looking great, led by a post-earnings rebound for UNH, sending a lot of these health insurance stocks to the upside. Consumer services strong, commercial services strong. Transportation looking pretty good here with the exception of UBER. And of course, we have to talk about finance. MS really leading this sector in the charts to the upside. But it's worth noting as well here, AXP, WFC, BAC, bank earnings continuing to be a great look, trending this sector pretty green, guys.
Okay, thank you, Adara. Uber, interesting name there when she mentioned that. I mean, anytime that name is red, I want to buy some Uber. I really like that stock and think that there is some potential there, although the robo-taxi news kind of want to let it cool down a little bit on that one. We'll have a quick look at Uber. We are trying to buy some more Nvidia against that 132.85 level, which is the 50-period moving average. So we're going to try to buy a little bit more there. We've given some back because we didn't get out some at the very top. Okay, Uber's only down 1%, not too much there. But again, a huge move to the upside there on that robo-taxi. A lot of people weren't impressed with it, I guess. And we'll just wait to see there if it does pull back into this level. Breakout level of 78.50. So I feel like you are getting closer and closer to that. Okay, man, time to give it all back, I guess. Here goes Nvidia now making that move back lower. We're long at 133.10. We'll get something out if we get back to the upside here as we have broken back down. We want to be very, very careful. We're not going to give back like even half. There it goes. Okay, so breaks through 175. So there, we'll hit the fail on basically that last reload, but I take that all the time. And I'll do that again. So I don't have a problem. But there it goes. It does have a problem breaking through that 134. So good trade all the way up and then little sloppy down here at 133. I still don't mind it. We did get stopped out there breaking through that 80 level, got out at 79s. So now we'll wait to see what it does. It looks like it's bouncing back up. This is where we were long. We were long at 133.10s. Breaking back above could be something else again there. But it's got to retake VWAP. So if it does that, then we can get back in. But right now, Nvidia does make that drop down. Retaking VWAP would be something, but it looks like we might have got wicked out again on that stock. Always happens to us, but that's fine. Net well under control here. Thankfully, was able to make that move back, but right now, Nvidia losing a little bit there. Intel, again, 30 cents in the money on that one. Let's just check out ASML because I want to make sure. Yeah, okay, so there's a decent break again. ASML right back to day's low. So we can see about a pop there. It's trying to bounce off that. Let's try a little bit here on Nvidia. We'll get a little bit back into it just in case as we look at that ASML, that little wick bottom there, 132.65. We'll pay attention to that.
Yeah, so I'm watching these futures here, and oh boy, look at that selling that comes in. We did kind of revert over 50%, over 60, 70% of the move there, and over 100% of that opening action here on the ES. But look at that pullback. We're pulling right back into those lows as of right now on both of the ES and the NASDAQ. So aggressive selling, bit of a chop day here, pretty much sideways, a lot of volatility to the downside off of the open, and then a bid off of the lows, and then another sell-off right there. So pretty much sideways as we kind of, I guess, we consolidate in and around 20,300 to 20,200 here on the NASDAQ. Let's see what we do going forward. As of right now, Intel still holding underneath this VWAP area right now. Not really coming in with too much selling as the market kind of sold off there. But again, I was talking about AMD. AMD did break that day low and continuing to kind of trade a little bit lower there. 154.92 is the day low. 155.74 was yesterday's low right there. So trading about 50 pennies below that as of right now on AMD. Bit of a downtrend. Look at those lower highs coming in off of the opening range on AMD trading below. What is that? 158.33 was the day high. So gonna stay watching that one there. Nothing too crazy going on as of right now. Let us know in the chat what you guys are trading, and we can take a look at some of those names. So I know people talking about DJT, and I see Baba as well. So DJT, we were looking at this one in the pre-market. Hasn't really, I guess it's done some sideways chop. Still within the opening range. It's trading right now 29.70 the high, 27.30 the low, trading at 29.24 as of right now on DJT. Let's take a look at what Baba is up to. Again, I like I'm in FXI right now. I guess just watching it, bit sideways for me. I don't have the chart up here, but you can see that Baba a little bit sideways as well. So let's take a quick look at FXI, see what that's doing. Very similar chart here as we kind of chop around on top of VWAP after gapping up. Not really gapping up, I guess, gapping up on our markets. But again, if you take a look at let's see what the Hang Seng has been doing. You can see that it did kind of sell off and then trade a little bit higher there. But bigger picture, oh boy, we had this bid up going into the beginning of October, and this smells a little bit like the backside on the Hang Seng as of right now. That's not a good one there. You don't want to smell like the backside. I did not mean to do that, but like, okay, well, it looks like the backside. Look at that nice little flush break of trend flushing down, trading or holding above this, what is this, 20,000, 165, I guess, double bottom as of right now, but we're making lower highs into that. So again, looking for that move on these ETFs and on some of the China names as the Hang Seng pulls back in to some of its lows off of that run up that we had a few weeks ago there, Sean. So.
Nvidia is driving me insane again here because, again, we get stopped out and then it just rips off that level again. So our levels are fine. We gotta regroup a little bit on that one. We do have a new position. It's Tesla. Tesla falls right. I mean, this name's not really doing too much. I guess I can zoom in a little bit to show you, but there's the 50-period moving average on a 20-minute chart. So it's been holding it. That low is 219.40. I don't want to hold it to that. If we don't hold 220 right now, then we can flash out. We're long at 220. We just take a fill there at 220.15s to take out of a little bit of it. That was only 10%. We'll see if we get a little bit higher there on Tesla. But here it comes right back in. So if this, we're very, very close to getting stopped out of this one too, 219.75. I don't mind trying it right here. I thought this pull back into these levels. If you want to give it a little bit more room, I just was talking about that level to you, 219.35s. Basically, you might as well, if you're going to go down there, give it to 219 flat. I mean, that low break at the beginning of the day is 218.95. I just don't have it in me to do that right now. I'm going to keep getting some out as we continue to move up into the high side. We do have Nvidia worries a little bit, but that's starting to go upside now as well. Come on, Tesla, let's go. Hopefully that can go, and then we'll see what happens. But Nvidia, a good out right there. We just got 27s on it, or was it 27s? Hold on a second. It was whatever the 50-period moving average is. We got a couple outs right there. Yeah, 25s, and I think there's a 27 in behind there as well. So hopefully Nvidia does regroup back up. We will put another offer there to get another piece out in case it does go back. Let's just take a 20 if it comes up to there. We'll let that go. It looks like Tesla did just put us into the money again as we broke above 220, but here it comes back in. We're pennies away now from getting stopped out on Tesla, which would be fine again for us. But I don't know. Market trying to retrace. I feel like we have a good name here in Tesla. There we go. Nvidia's going back up. Let's see if Tesla wants to finally go. Intel breaking back above $22 as well. I'm going to take a piece out on Tesla maybe if we can get it back above, but it looks like it wants to fade. All right, it's Adara.
Before we get to the DXY and the money talk segment, it's worth noting UNH, United Health, making new day's highs up almost 4% here. This is a $575 ticker on a day two earnings move. So just worth noting a little bit of a volume spike for UNH to the upside. DXY here, we've had one red candle in the last 13 days. So over half a month of trading, and we've only had one red candle. This current green candle pushing us near that 103.50 area above previous resistance around 103.30s that we weren't really able to eclipse yesterday. Our next level of resistance that I'm seeing potentially here for the DXY would be 103.70 on the daily chart. That's that previous support going back to mid-July 2024. Now, in terms of economic data, it's been a bit of a lighter week. Today is no exception. We did have import and export prices on a month-over-month basis for September, both of which came in lower than expected. So import prices negative 0.4% on a month-over-month basis versus negative 0.3% expected. Export prices month-over-month for September a little bit lower even further. So negative 0.7% versus estimates of negative 0.4% for that month-over-month change in export prices. No Fed speak today, though. Yesterday, we had some interesting comments coming in through from Fed's Daily, echoing the sentiment that we heard from Fed's Biotech last week and also from the FOMC minutes that were released last Wednesday, basically suggesting that there is more dissent in the FOMC opinion, specifically with regards to that 50 basis point rate cut, than might initially appear. Fed's Daily also echoing comments from a lot of these Feds that she sees one or two rate cuts heading into the end of the year. We only have 2 meetings left, keep in mind, November and December, so that's certainly on watch. We have some industrial production and business inventories numbers coming out tomorrow. But even more interestingly, Friday, we've got housing and building numbers and a slew of Fed speakers, Fed's Bostic, Kashkari, and more Bostic all on the docket for Friday. Again, DXY staying strong. Let's see if it stays that way.
All right, let's just go awesome because finally Tesla went for us a little bit there. We got some out at 25s, at 30s, it's at 20s right now. And that was only a 20-cent win. It's not like it's an awesome trade, but it went. So we'll say awesome for now. We are thinking that this one can, again, go higher. Let's hold on to Tesla for a little bit. You know, we do have an offer up here at 50. If that feels great, that's my next level. So let's see if that can go upside. We still do have 65% of this trade. We had to take something out because it just was not breaking through 25. And I'm not sure it wants to go now. I mean, the market's back to VWAP. In my opinion, this name should have gone already, so we'll take out some. And again, it looks like it may wind up being a relatively flat trade if we get stopped out here. So there it goes. Darn, that's too bad. All right, so nice fill there, though, on Nvidia. As Nvidia goes up, we get a 50 fill right there on that name, so we're pretty proud of that reload back in. But again, it's been a tricky one on Nvidia because we did get stopped out there, and then we got back in. But, you know, that's just the life, again, of that kind of trading. And I never get stopped out of the whole thing. We just get stopped out of part fills. Like normally it's 75%, and then we'll hold on to 25. And then get going off of that. But right now, Tesla needs to hold this 220, which it's trying to do. This is my newest trade, Tesla right here at 220. We've taken some out 25, some out 15s. I mean, other than that, it's been pretty good, the outs, but definitely not moving upside like I'd hoped it would. Nvidia pulling back as well. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here on Nuburu, B-U-R-U. This company has been on watch. It's traded higher in the past, even pretty recently. Looks like this might be halted again. Just came out of a halt here for BURU. In terms of news, apparently last night, Liquius LP, which recently announced it's going to be involved in this $100 million equity line of credit with CRKN. Liquius actually also providing an update on its Nuburu financing, saying that they're continuing to be interested in the company and in financing them that way. Currently, it looks like halted here at 98.63%. Be careful here with BURU. Again, this one ran as recently as last week and has run again in the past. Market cap of just under $5 million. I'm seeing 4.8 million. We have a float of 3.65 million shares, 13.7% insider owned. So BURU on watch, guys.
Couple shares here on Nvidia as we start to rip upside. I am taking another couple shares out here on Tesla if we can get that 20 fill. So we're waiting for that one. And I just said over to Sharif, I was like, oh boy, did you see SMR? I mean, 31% right now. I mean, this was a swing trade that we took here, breaking out right here. We missed it at 10, but I like this level. We're able to buy some mid 12s. And right now, we did take a 13 break. Once it broke 13 there, that first day, we had took some shares on that name. But then that first day that it broke, it must have been this day here, October 3rd, because it looks like it broke and then finished. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so it is this day. So this is the day I bought, October 3rd. So right now, it's October 16th. We're in the money about 35% or whatever it is from that level. Right now, it looks like it's going to be a little bit higher than that. Tesla just came out. So I don't know if we were able to get, so we're basically flat on Tesla right there. No, we did not get that last fill. Oh, that's too bad. I thought we were waiting there at 20. Look where it goes, 19s. But there goes Tesla. We do not need to be in this one, man. It is weaker than I thought right here underneath everything. Nvidia is the only one that's playing right now in and around VWAP and the 200 period moving average. So we'll hold on to that long. And we'll cry over a little bit of spilt milk there on Tesla, but not too much. What's up, Adara?
Just keep an eye here on WKSP trading on the NASDAQ. This is Worksport. The company's CEO here, Stephen Rossi, apparently involved in a fireside chat with Kenny Polcari, who is a Fox Business Network market analyst. So fireside chat here for WKSP CEO. This name on watch with that in mind, guys.
Tesla, at least, I was just saying to Obi, like, my stops always seem to be at the bottom. This one stops, comes right back to 220, but then at least comes back down. So justifying that. Normally, I would be thinking about going short right now. I mean, the market's underneath, we're underneath, and this name has already showed us that it's a little bit weak. I would say sometimes I get a little excited. We talk about that. This name, maybe not yet, but if we can get back up to 220.50 or so, closer to some of these indicators, then I think it would be a go spot there for the short at some levels at some point. So again, we are getting lighter and lighter on Nvidia. I still don't mind the long in and around here one more time, but I'm going to back away for now. Let the market settle down. 132.60 break, and we're out of Nvidia. So we will take a little bit more, maybe where we got stopped out at around 75s, but if it breaks 60s, we're out of Nvidia. Let's be very careful what we're doing. Tesla back to 220 now. So, oh man, a little bit frustrating there as we watch that name continue to make moves back upside. There it goes, 220. So, yeah. A little topsy-turvy right here in this market, but all good, pretty good day overall.
Yeah, no, nothing too crazy. Some solid moves on Intel off of the open. Didn't really take any profits there. Kind of gave it back to when it kind of traded back above VWAP right now. But the market's kind of choppy, a little sideways there. That SMR, quite nice move on that one as well. Again, I think the big trade definitely were the banks today. With again Morgan Stanley pushing up aggressively on that move, and we can see what some of the other banks did as well alongside Morgan Stanley. Now, something I'm continuing to watch right now is ASML, and ASML still chopping in the lower end of its range there, of the lower end of its price action. What it's done off of the morning session right there, still trading underneath 700, still trading underneath VWAP, and then in the pre-market we kind of pointed out that that 685. 686 level as well. Currently day low right now is 686.70, trading a little bit lower there. VWAP couldn't really happen on ASML. And let's take a quick look at some of these other names like Nvidia. Nvidia here, nice little pullback off of its highs as well. 35, what is that? 34.78. 134.78 is the day high on Nvidia, trading right back down at VWAP as of right now. Take a look at AMD as well. That one was cracking day lows last time we looked at it. And look at that reversion back up into VWAP, 156.66 trading on AMD right now. So yeah, a lot of volatility, a lot of sideways chop, but the moves are definitely there if you're willing to kind of participate in those. So interesting price action nonetheless. ASML looking a little weak still as it trades at that 690 mark. I have that in the corner of my eye right now as well. I guess FXI got stopped out of that one as it trades a little bit higher. So we're going to take a quick look at that. You can see that little consolidation. We held VWAP and we're pushing up a little bit higher there as well. Now remember people pointing out Baba in the chat. So Baba probably pushing highs as well. Let's take a look at PDD. PDD not really looking, I guess, the same, but sideways chop is definitely there here on PDD on the day today. And I know there's a couple other ETFs as well, like Yang, if you like the short, Yang to the downside as these Chinese stocks tick a little bit higher. Yin is the long, ETF there, 3 times bull. Trading at 34.50s as of right now, Sean. So yeah, it's been a pretty I guess I would say it's been a pretty quiet morning session, other than some of these banks, and again some of the runners that we've had as well. What was that one called? ATNF?
Yes, sir.
ATNF.
By the way, Tesla's at 220.50 right now. I want to just punch myself in the face.
Oh boy.
Yeah, go look at ATNF. Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, ATNF. Traded to the downside. We saw that it was quite strong off of the pre-market action. Couldn't quite make it to the pre-market highs there, and trades much lower there. Intraday high there at that 17.75. Day low at 8.28, trading at $10, holding above VWAP as of right now. So I want to watch. Let's see if these, I mean, the sell-off was there. It is quite nice. If it starts holding VWAP, if it starts holding some of these levels, I'm curious to know whether or not it's going to start a little bit of a squeeze in the mid to end of day session there, Sean. So lots of things to watch out for.
All right, the next time I give you guys like a stop level, just sit there with as many shares as you can and going the other way. That's the key. That's the key. I'm actually going to talk to the algo guys in the back and see if they can't monitor my trades and just go the other way, put a 0 on the end of it. As soon as I am flat or got out of 75% of the position. Money. I mean, there should be a lack of, and then it should say money, like you say lack of. I should have 2 on there for this one. I mean, look at Tesla. Look where we get, I mean, this is now 3 times. We got stopped out twice on the bottoms with Nvidia. Thankfully, Nvidia, we were able to get back in. This one, we stopped out completely. And then I was like, oh, it's weak. Tesla's weak here, not acting properly. But you know what? Like, when we talk like that, this is why. Like, the market's coming down right now. Tesla is now doing this. So to me, this is where, again, the senses have to go off at some point, and you say, it got me. And I am just not reading this one. I mean, I guess we're reading it right. I don't know. and we just should have given it to down there. But again, when we do that sometimes, then I get stopped out down there, and then I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should have given it to 219. But okay, you know what? At the end of the day, I try to talk about this a lot on the show, and you know, to each their own. But at the end of the day, you know, we are the ones that have to go back and study our nets and figure out, is the strategy that we're doing successful or not? You know, and I can sit here and talk about how this stop did this and this stop did that, but you know, really though, at the end of the day, you know, if the trading has given you positive returns with that sort of a style of trade, then you should stay on it. I mean, we're always trying to adapt and get better and get smarter and have our, oh my God, it's 11:03?
Oh boy.
Fabian. My bad. I had no idea.
Letting you talk, man.
No wonder, man. Sharif and Satara over there, just let this guy talk, man. We have 3 hours to fill. You know, this guy's going to go over 3-4 minutes. Yeah, they're you guys letting me go right now. Okay. Anyways, no. All right. This is actually a good one because we're going to the lessons of the day here. Learn to trade with Sataya and Sharif. But at the end of the day, your strategies is what matters. Yes. And we can question it all we want to, but if it's had a positive return over the span of however long you've been trading, keep going with it, keep adjusting on the fly, and it will all make sense. Obi, let's go. Sir. Say some finishing words here.
I mean, good luck with the midday. Enjoy your lesson with Sataya and Sharif, and we'll see you guys on the flip side. Take it easy.
All right, let's get it, girl.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as That Midday Show. That is